You all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks. This is Vile Mike here. I thought I'd play the theme song for the first time in a while because I haven't been posting a video. I thought that'd be fun to do on the live streams. I saw Richie was in the chat so far. How you doing, Richie? So far, I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself and vamp until we get some people to come up. I have no idea what to do, though. Originally, I was thinking about pulling up one of my, like a urban legend or a horror story or something to talk relating to the theme. But instead, I think what I'll do is I'll actually tell a story of something kind of scary that happened Friday. Basically, during my lunch, I stopped by McDonald's to get a soda and do my paperwork. Because with my day job, I got to do paperwork with every store I hit, and it takes some time sometimes. So I thought, having a soda, air conditioning, I can go ahead and do this for a little bit. So I'm in there, I get my soda, I sit down at a table, and I'm doing my paperwork. And this guy comes in and just starts screaming at the top of his lungs at the McDonald's employees. I don't know exactly what he was screaming about, but of course, I'm curious, so I get up and I walk towards the front. And it's a guy who is being denied getting a water cup because he has frequently gone inside and asked for a water cup, and instead, of course, gets soda and makes a mess. So they just said, no, we're not really interested in having you here. And he starts screaming about he wants respect and all this kind of stuff. And I don't appreciate when anyone starts yelling at McDonald's employees or employees of any kind. So I stepped forward a little bit, and he kind of freaked out a little bit because suddenly this, 6'2", 300-pound guy is right there. And he doesn't leave right then and there, even though the manager at this point had come out and was asking him to leave. And I didn't say anything at this point. But he turns to me and he starts saying, "Oh, what are you going to do, fat boy?" And I just smiled and said nothing. And, I would kick your ass, motherfucker. And I just looked at him. I just said, "Or?" And it kind of caught him through a loop threw him through a loop because he didn't know how to respond to that. And he goes back to yelling at the employees. And again, I'm just standing there. And finally, the manager was like, fine, he gives him a cup and he goes to get soda, even though he specifically asked for a water cup again. And I went ahead and went back and sat down at my table. And as he's getting his little soda, he's, of course, looking over at me, and he starts talking shit to me. Again, how he's going to kick my ass. And I was like, basically, I was just like, yeah, sure. You're a little meth head. You could easily tell that he's on drugs. And, or at least in my experience, he's acting the same way that my brother acted when he was on meth. And good morning, Captain. Well, I still think it was Captain Trek, so I'm going to say Captain Trek. And how you doing, Bird? So I I kind of ignore the guy for a little bit. He finally leaves, and I go out to my car to drop off my work tablet because I was going to go get another refill real quick. And as I'm getting my refill, he is like, looks like he's trying to be sneaky, but he's walking in the middle of the parking lot. And obviously he's very visible. And sorry, Jordan, I didn't mean to ignore you. I see. I was not trying to be mean. And he just started, and he's like walking up like he's gonna, he's got his fist curled back like he's gonna try to sneak attack me. And I just turn to him, reach into my pocket, pull out my knife, flick out my knife, and he stops because he now sees a 6-foot tall guy holding a knife. Yes, alas, poor Jordan. We knew him well. But this, again, is a guy that is, as far as I can tell, is clearly on meth. And he doesn't seem to care now. Once he gets over the initial shock of seeing that, he walks straight up to me again, gets less than an inch from my face, and starts telling me again how he's going to kick my ass. And I'm just staring him down. And finally, another person walks up and was like, hey, we don't want the cops around here. Leave them alone. And if he's talking to the meth head, not to me. And he eventually, backs off. And the manager had said that she's had to call the cops on that guy multiple times. And he ended up walking away. But I was about this close to actually stabbing a motherfucker on Friday. And NB, you know where I learned to carry a knife? Texas. Sorry. But of course, I carry a knife on me, not because of safety purposes, but because I use it as a box cutter for my day job. I use it to cut out shipping labels when I ship something on eBay. I mean, it's a very versatile tool. It's not just because of safety, but yes, it also happens to be something you could also use for that. But yeah, so I had a fun Friday. I did tell the manager, just in case, I gave her my cell phone number because she said she called the cops already. And I said, I'm heading down to Mexico right now. Well, I had one more store to hit. Then I was heading down to Mexico. And I said, if need be, here's my number if they need to call me for anything. I haven't heard anything yet. But of course, once I got down to Mexico, my service is no longer good. So we'll see what happens. But that was a fun little story. And yet, no one's coming up. I mean, NB's here, Bird's here, Gorilla's here, Captain Trek's here, Richie's here. Plenty of y'all can come up, say hi. Tell one of your favorite creepypastas, urban legends, or ghost stories. Granted, the story that I didn't tell was not necessarily a one of those, but it's still kind of a horror story.
So let me see if I get this straight. You got almost jacked and you went to the safety of Mexico.
Yes. Not only that,
America is so dangerous. My bike had to go to the safety of Mexico.
I didn't just have to go to the safety of Mexico. I went to the safety of Tijuana.
Oh, the bastion of freedom. Dude, I'm sorry, but between you and me, if the guy had gotten that close to me, I probably would have stabbed him. Well, actually, no,
Well,
I would have shot him because I don't carry a knife. I carry a gun. But I'd have given him plenty of warnings. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to, though.
yes, that is absolutely true, Richie. Here's the Vile One's number. He's going to hit one more store, and then he's heading to Mexico. God, that sounds like I'm robbing him. All right. How you doing, Jordan?
I feel like shit.
And
don't feel bad, man. You're in the same boat with me.
I'm pretty sure I got another kidney stone.
Oh, ouch.
With as much soda and coffee as I drink, and the fact that I'm nearing closer to 40 than I am back down to 30, I am shocked that I don't have that issue.
Wait a minute, Mike, you're younger than me?
How old are you?
I'm 43.
No, I said I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30.
Yeah, I started to say I thought you were older than me.
No, I'm 37, dude.
Oh.
How old did you think I was?
Oh, I thought you were right about 40 my age. Well, I just turned 43 October 13th. I thought you were just a little closer to my age. I didn't know you were still in your 30s.
Yeah, that's why I get mad whenever my kids call me old, because I'm like, I'm not 40 yet. I don't qualify as old.
Yeah, I will give you that. Once you hit 40, you do earn the qualification. People are like, you're not old. I'm like, I'm in my 40s. As far as I'm concerned, I'm old as fuck.
No, right now they use the excuse that I have a child who has graduated high school and who is an adult herself that makes it that I'm now old.
I have a grandchild.
I don't have one of those yet.
I think that qualifies me for being old.
Yeah, once you hit 40 or become a grandpa, you're officially old, no matter how old you are at the time.
You should see that video. It's so funny on my YouTube. It's like I'll occasionally do videos. I'll get 10 or 12 views, and then I do one. I upload one video my daughter sent me of my grandson trying to say sit. And you know what he's saying. You know what he ends up saying. He's trying to say sit, but he ends up saying shit. And that fucker gets almost 1,000 views. And I'm like, I really am not doing good on my channel.
Well, that's because you made a short, and that goes into the shorts feed automatically.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. My shorts do so much better.
Because I got 16,000 views on just a picture of my grass, or video of my grass.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna go to my own little thing to see what's my top videos right now.
Oh, my top video was, I think my highest viewed video was me showing off of my Voltron I bought. With the Voltron intro. Pretty sure that was my highest.
Let's see. It's funny when I bring up the graph, my views spike every Sunday. I wonder why.
So I guess tonight is Jodie Whittaker's last night as the Doctor.
Well, considering I haven't seen her first outing as the Doctor, unless you count the brief second she was on when Capaldi left. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first episode. Look, I'm going to be honest. I've very much made this clear. My honestly, the Husbands of River song is where I felt like Doctor Who ended for me. I didn't like Bill in the third season of Capaldi's run. I watched the first episode of Jodie Whittaker's, and I was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work for me.
Why won't it just show me the highest ones total, not over the last few days? They're like, these are your 5 videos that have gotten the most views in the last, however long. And it's 4 vile reviews episodes and when I folded an X-Wing out of a dollar bill. Those are the videos that are getting the most views the last 30 days or so.
I ain't too worried about it. Richie, so you're a Tom big fan. Okay, I can understand that. Elihu, it's 8 a.m. Please tell me you went and got your Danish.
It's 8:16 a.m. The guy was not there to make the muffins, so I didn't get anything.
All right. Well, since we got some people, why don't we each share a favorite urban legend, ghost story, or creepypasta that we have?
What's a creepypasta?
It's basically an online ghost story, or it's the same thing. It's just an online format. Instead of like telling it around the campfire, it's things people post online.
It was a dark and stormy night. The state is called Florida. His name is called LVG. The end.
Here, I'll because I guess Jordan hasn't heard of this term before.
Oh, here, let me get back on the screen.
This is the website where people post them.
Okay.
No, I'm not signing up. But they got, as I said, they're just basically the same thing. It's a new term for the new generation.
I was thinking about
like any of these fucking kids know what a Polaroid is.
I was thinking about putting Random Nautica on my phone and just wandering around and filming that. You guys heard of Random Nautica, right?
I've heard of Nautica, the game.
Random Nautica.
What's Random Nautica?
It's an app on your phone. It takes you put little categories like you want to be entertained, you want to be scared, you want something like this, right? And it'll choose a random location within your area. You can choose a mile, 50 miles, whatever. And you're supposed to go to the location. That app has been finding dead bodies, hidden money, odd stuff. It's just random.
So the app has been finding that stuff? How is the app finding it?
I don't know how the algorithm works, but people have been going there, finding hauntings, finding dead body, finding money. Random Nautica is kind of a weird app.
I don't know. It sounds kind of made up to me.
Check it out.
So, Mike, you're pretty certain this guy was high on meth.
Well, my brother used to act the same way when he was high on meth, so I'm pretty sure that was what he was on.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I've only ever seen one person high on meth before. And I was pretty drunk at the time, so I don't remember much of the situation.
Well, I've seen my brother and I've seen a couple of his friends all high on meth, and there's when they're just stoned out of their minds and they're chill, kind of like someone who smokes weed, and then there's like one thing sets them off and they're suddenly filled with anger.
Yeah. Oh man, so last week I got to see my buddy James, who I've known since my high school days. He was a little bit older, so he wasn't in high school with me, but I got to go see him. Turned out he wasn't awake yet, but he, his wife woke him up, and she's like, "Do you want me to tell him to go?" He goes, "He's not going to see me any other time." So we said, we hung out, we talked for an hour, and he was doing a wake and bake. So he was passing his weed vape to me, and we were going back and forth talking shit and just having a good time talking about and then I swear to God, I don't know how many hits we got into it, but I had to get to a point where I was like, James, after that hit, I'm good. He's like, "Oh, thank God." I thought, we were going to have to keep going. He's like, "I'm not going to quit, but thank God you're a lightweight still." I was like, dude, that was like 7-8 hits.
What were you guys smoking?
I have no clue what weed we were smoking. I have no idea what he had. All I know is Eliu, it was some good shit. And after I left his place, I drove back to my hotel room. It took a very nice nap.
Look at this. I found a very good deal yesterday. Check this out.
Yep.
This right here, 94% THC. It was on sale, $15. It's a brand new company.
Whoa! Did you say 94?
Yes.
Shit, I've never been able to get anything better than 86. No, I'm serious. When it comes to it, wait a minute. What do you do with a vape? I thought you were a flower guy.
I am, but there was a deal on this. I'm like, why the hell not? I'll try it.
I gotcha. All right, I gotcha. I see your point there.
So let me get this straight. The only horror story or ghost story or creepypasta that Elihu has is something along the lines of, "There was a day I woke up and I had no weed."
That is a horror story.
No, his horror stories were back in the day when he was smoking weed and he had to worry about going to prison.
No, my horror story was, I got a great deal of weed. Damn it, there's too many fucking seeds in this thing.
How is that a bad thing?
Old school. That was bad. Come on. Think about it, Jesse. You were trying
Yeah,
to
but
get weed,
then
and
you
you got a lot of
take the
seeds.
seeds. You take the seeds and you grow them.
Yeah, but back then in the 90s, nobody wanted seeds in their weed. They wanted to smoke. They didn't want to grow. Nowadays, it's a rarity.
Yeah,
to find
that
seeds.
is true. Okay. You didn't specify you were talking the 90s. Okay, I get where you're going there.
Yeah, nowadays people are like,
no,
yes,
some
I got a
people
seed.
did want seeds, but they wanted to grow.
Right,
no, I get what you're saying there.
I'll tell you guys a horror story since that's not weed related. When I was growing up in Santee, which is a suburb of San Diego, well, it's a city, but I basically lived in the suburbs. But the house that we lived on faced this field that was mostly empty. The owners kind of used it to grow like hay for a while, but there was a lot of rocks and trees about 200 yards out that they didn't really do anything with. They didn't pull or anything like that. And me and my friends used to built a big old tree fort. We called it a tree fort. It was basically a tree house out there. And one year for Halloween, what I did is I took a cow skull that I got out in Texas, and I painted it in glow-in-the-dark paint. And I attached a sheet to it. And then I hung it from a line of twine that I went from the top of the tree to my front door, which was about 200 yards away. And I had it rigged up a little pulley system, so I could basically try to pull it back as quickly as possible. But because it was up in the tree and went down to the door, it would slowly roll its way towards us. So when these kids would come up, and I would have like a fake scary costume, sometimes if the kids made fun of it, I would be like, "Well, you shouldn't do that, because don't you know the story of," and I'd make up some random name, and tell them that, you know, it was a guy who used to kill kids on Halloween who made fun of people in their costumes. And of course they'd be like, "Oh, that's not true." And I'm like, "Are you sure? What's that behind you?" And I'd pull the little thing, and suddenly they would look behind them, and in the distance they would see this white dot that would get bigger and bigger with a glowing green head. And it would, as it picked up speed, it would rush towards them, and they would start screaming their heads off and run away.
You know, we went to a Fright Fest last night. The middle school around here had a Fright Fest trail, and I mean, you know, it's a middle school, so you know the production was, you know, up to par for middle school. But I'm gonna tell you what, I don't care that there's no chain on a chainsaw. That sound will still scare the shit out of you.
Oh, hell yeah.
That the sound of a fucking chainsaw, even if no chain is on there, will still scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Even I picked up the pace a little bit when that happened. I was like, the last time I had experienced that was when I took my oldest and her friend to a Fright Fest. And we went through this haunted house one, and God, it was so fucking boring because it was all everybody screaming and shrieking. I'm kind of like, oh my God, really? And then we went on one where we were pretty much on a hayride. And oh my God, it was actually fun and scary. And I'll tell you what, when those guys came with their little chainsaws, even though there's nothing on them, when the guy hit it to the ground, I almost thought he was going to split some wood.
That reminds me, one year I went to Universal Studios in Hollywood when they were doing their Halloween Nights thing or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And there was a guy doing the whole Leatherface, dressed as Leatherface with the chainsaw, but he didn't do the screaming like Leatherface. He walked around like Jason or Michael Myers, not making a sound, and just walking up towards people with the chainsaw. And it was, I don't care how old you are, you got the fuck out of this guy's way. You just see a guy slowly walking up towards you, revving a chainsaw, you get out the way. Well, fortunately, we don't have LDG with us now.
I have a radical idea. We'll cross the streams.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
Cross the streams.
You're going to endanger us.
Not necessarily. There's definitely a very slim chance we'll survive.
Hello.
Goodbye.
You know,
What, are you doing a stream too? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're over here from the waiting room. I got Captain MKG here with me. Good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear Captain? Captain, say something.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear him.
Sweet, and you can hear them, right? We're good.
oh, yes.
I can
Successful stream crossing. There we go. That's how you do it. What's up, Vinyl Mike? Hi, everybody.
So, Charlene, tell these fine people what movies we're going to watch today.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Child's Play 2.
Yep. Which one do you want to watch first?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
There we
You
go.
want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street first? Okay. Awesome. When do you want to watch? It's 11, almost 11:30. How about 12? I'm kind of tired, so we got a double feature.
Yeah, 12 works.
All right. So you should put my mask on and show everybody, you in that outfit of yours. Did you just wake up, sweetie?
Yeah.
Yeah, must be nice. This is my baby girl.
Sorry, I'm not even on the tab.
Howdy.
Howdy.
All right. So 12 o'clock, we'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and then we'll follow it up with Child's Play 2. All right. So we got a double feature. So our last movie we watched, guys, was a movie neither one of us had seen. It Follows. What you think of that overall, Charlene?
I thought it was pretty boring at the beginning. I wasn't gonna like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was good. The ending was good.
The ending was good. What do you think of Creature from the Black Lagoon, your first black and white horror?
I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty decent.
It was decent. I told you those black and whites aren't as bad as you thought. Hey, man, if I'm going to get my daughter into the classics, I got to work her in somehow.
Well, that's what I usually do with my kids. Is I tell them we'll watch something you want to watch, and then we'll watch something I want to watch, or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. So my daughter and I put together the 16 days of Halloween, and she picked out a lot of good movies, and I picked out a lot of good movies, and she wanted to watch some classic stuff. I just threw one.
No, stop it! God damn it! Sorry about that.
No problem. I threw in the black and white, but I threw in the Creature from the Black Lagoon because out of the Universal horror monster movies, that one is my favorite. Mostly for the water scenes. I just really love those.
I think so. They stopped doing research
No,
on it.
stop it.
It was not better.
Why won't they? God damn it! I was trying to bring up my daughter's TikTok because I was going to show you her costume. She did a TikTok where she was dressed in her Halloween costume, but it keeps playing the freaking videos of everything, and I don't want it to play videos, and Chrome won't let me mute that tab.
Oh yeah, try Jim. How many followers does your daughter have? Mine has 24,000, I think, right now.
Last time I checked, it was around 3,500, but I haven't checked in a month or so. So hold on, let me check.
You know, I just checked Six Flags as a Halloween special thing, and it's about $200 to go. Like, damn.
$200 for Six Flags?
Yeah, for the Halloween Fright Fest thing. It's it costs about $88 to get extra for general admission, but that's extra. You got to pay extra for the rides, some extra rides, the Halloween thing. Like Disneyland is a hell of a lot more reasonable.
Holy shit!
Sorry, I muted myself so it wouldn't come up with any of the videos at the time. Yeah, she still has about 3,500.
Holy shit! One of my friends, I actually just found out. One of my friends, back in the Marine Corps, she was the sister of one of my friends in the Marine Corps. Married another friend of mine who was also in the Marine Corps. She sent me a friend request on TikTok, and I'm like, oh shit! She was a good friend. Well, she was a good friend of mine, so you know. I don't have many friends, and I try to cherish the few I have.
God dang it! Why? That's one of the things I hate about TikTok is it won't stop.
Yeah, that is the thing I cannot stand about it. Is it does that shit.
Is there a function where you can have the clip where it does not automatically play like YouTube?
No, stop it! I don't want that. I just want.
Oh god damn it! I did not. Fuck.
You did not fuck?
Sure. This is how you build a Lego Infinity Cube. Sir?
See, this is why you can't do TikTok on fucking live because it just there's no mute. I mean, you gotta look for the view. You gotta work for it. Jesus H. Christ. I'm too old for TikTok.
No, I'm too old.
All right. I think I can do. I had to share it to Twitter so I could
share your
try
Twitter.
to put here. So it'll bring up TikTok again. Nope, that's not what I want to do. It's not gonna bring up that window.
Way too late last night, hanging out with my favorite fish and all of his
All right, did you guys see that?
Kinda.
Well, she's going as Mike Wheeler from Stranger Things.
Okay.
So I made the joke. Since you're a vile child and you're going as Mike, does that make you vile Mike?
Jordan, I think your sound is background.
What?
Is that you?
Oh, it's not me.
That's
Okay.
not Jordan. I just muted him.
It's MB.
Usually one of you guys, usually one of you guys have kids in the background. I'm like, Jordan?
Oh, I do got kids in the background, but he's in the other room.
Okay.
Oh shit, I wasn't muted. I'm sorry. I was listening to a TikTok video from a friend of mine, but I thought I was muted. That's my bad.
You're not stoned enough, dude. Smoke some more.
I have not had any weed this morning, damn it.
I have. I'll smoke right now.
Yeah, we all know Eli.
Well, congratulations. I haven't gotten that far yet. Although I'm probably close to it.
Good morning, my beautiful.
Well, trying to get
Oh,
back.
God damn it! Stop doing that.
Just hit mute.
Having the same issues I was.
No, you hit mute, but if you scroll down, scroll back up, it goes back to fucking volume.
Yep.
Right click on it. Right click and hit
What was
mute. Dude, right click and hit mute tab. That's how you do it.
That's Elihu. I was having when I had the TikTok thing up, it was not letting me hit mute when I hit the mute icon at the top, or did the right click hit mute. That it was not highlightable.
Oh,
It was they had literally blocked that.
that's weird. I've never seen a block where it says unmute.
Oh God,
I clicked on
TikTok
mute
is
site.
such a pain. TikTok is a young man's game. I swear to God.
TikTok is an effing spy, dude. It's China. The fact that you're even using it is.
Okay, LDG.
What do you mean? So what? Like that when?
Hold on.
That's what people told frickin' Martin Luther King when he said, "Don't ride the bus." So what?
No, LDG. Do you think that YouTube,
Yeah.
Odyssey, Twitch, every other video platform does not do the same thing?
No shit, Sherlock. They can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you say, "Well, it's spying," it's China. It's like, well, yeah, and so is YouTube.
You're absolutely correct. But it's not China.
Let's be okay. See, this is the part where when politics has to play a part in economics. And
No, we're not going to really get into that right now. We're supposed to be
but what I'm saying is they're going to go where the money is. And if China is going to give them money, they're going to go there. It's just as simple as that. If they're going to be the tax break, if they're going to be the place that gives them the better freedom, ironically, to do what they do, they'll go and do it. It's called.
Yeah, I'm familiar with how the game's played. But yeah, unfortunately, that's absolutely correct.
The problem is that what's really scary, capitalism.
Yeah, but I think there's an extra variable when you're talking about China than when you're talking about any other company.
TikTok, what you're talking about, you're a little confused. It's not a security leaked to the country of China. It's they have access to your friends, your locations, your contacts. This is what same thing Facebook had when it first started with the Meta program. It was basically got your personal information. This is what TikTok did. And then they actually corrected that with a block. Somebody actually blocked that. And then all of a sudden, people were trolling President Trump on this. And that's when he got onto the huge thing about this. Like, oh no, TikTok's back, TikTok's back. And TikTok is so fucking bad. Why did you allow the military personnel to still continue to download it on their phones and their devices? Why did you not ban it? Hello, it's not really fucking bad. It's just because they trolled you. This is not a political thing. This is a ghost story show.
Here's what confuses me. If you're talking about that specifically, Elihu, what they weren't really concerned with people using their civilian phones to download these apps. They were concerned with their military provided phones downloading these things.
Okay, can I speak on that, considering I was an IT guy in the military?
All right, go ahead.
When you are given a government-issued electronic, whatever it is, iPad, iPhone, whatever, there are restrictions that you are not allowed to download onto that phone or that device. That is just thing. Okay, I'll give you an example. We had a staff sergeant who took a freaking laptop CD-wide. He returned the laptop, and then he had to be reprimanded. Why? Because while he was had the government laptop, they found not downloaded porn, just the fact that he didn't delete the history, and they found that he had been searching porn sites on a government computer.
Yep. Now, let me do an example. My work tablet specifically limits not only what apps can be downloaded to it, like every app that is that I can download has to be approved by corporate first. So I can't just go and download the YouTube app. When you go onto the internet, it does have a regular internet browser. Any unapproved website is not allowed. So you can't, like, I can go to YouTube on my browser, on my work browser, but I can't download the YouTube app. I can go to TikTok on the browser, but I can't download the app. I cannot go to OnlyFans or Pornhub or any, hundreds of other websites, thousands of other websites, because they don't want anything going onto that tablet that could harm the tablet.
And also, you can block IP ads, you can block websites, because there are some schools that have free Wi-Fi with the students, but students are not allowed to access like TikTok, Facebook during school property, because that website is blocked through that Wi-Fi app. They want to go to Facebook.
No. You're thinking, well, you can block the IP and you can block the protocol.
Yeah, as long as you're on the school's Wi-Fi, you cannot access that. But you're on
that was something No, Elihu, that was something I actually got on my kids' high school, because they were like, well, your son's on Google Chrome and he's going to YouTube. I'm like, how is he able to access YouTube? And they're like, I'm like, don't you have blocking for this? Don't you have restriction?
No.
They're like, no, I'm like, well, what are the parameters for the profiles? Don't you guys have ability to block it as teachers versus students? Turned out they had the same goddamn permissions as students. Oh. And I went up to the school district and I was like, I want to speak to your IT professional. They go, we don't have one. I'm like, well, you fucking need one. I'm like, nobody has administrative account in this district. My kids can access anything they want on the fucking computer. There's no restriction whatsoever. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing over here? Guess what happened the very next year?
People were downloading porn at school?
No, they actually put restrictions in place.
Wow.
Still didn't do anything.
Oh, I lost my
It's hard to block. Hard to block a
I
website.
lost my fucking shit with those people because I'm like, why are you blaming my son? You're the ones who didn't block those access. In the military, even on a Nipper network, which is the closest to an unclassified network, depending on what level of access you had, determine whether you could go to Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, or even YouTube. But you had to have you had to have permission, a reason to go there.
You are military property. Nothing about yourself is personally owned. You have to have government permission to do anything until you sign that paper.
All right. Let's go back on subject for a little bit. What I want you guys to do is go ahead, since I'm assuming you're all near a computer or something.
What's a computer?
No, I'm 10 miles away.
What's a computer?
This is string and can.
I want you guys to all look for a campfire story, ghost story, urban legend, or creepypasta, or anything like that you want to read on the live stream, whether you've heard it before or not. And you know, I
don't need a computer for that one,
because I decided to do a quick search. And have you guys ever heard of the Yellow Ribbon scary story?
No, I haven't.
In case anyone wants to read along, I found this. I have not read this before, but I'm posting the link. It's found at AmericanFolklore.net. And I thought maybe I'll read the story and you guys tell me what you think. It's not that long. And, you know, tell me if you've heard it before. All right, so let's see if I can get into character. Jane wore a yellow ribbon around her neck every day. And I mean every day, rain or shine, whether it matched her outfit or not. It annoyed her best friend Johnny after a while. He was her next-door neighbor, and he had known Jane since she was 3. When he was young, he barely noticed the yellow ribbon, but now they were in high school, and it bothered him. "Why do you wear that yellow ribbon around your neck, Jane?" he'd ask her every day, but she wouldn't tell him. In spite of this aggravation, Johnny thought she was cute and asked her to the soda shop for an ice cream sundae. I think that dates this. When he asked her to watch him play in a football game. Then he asked her to watch him play in a football game. He started seeing her home, and come spring, he asked her to the dance. Jane always said yes when he asked her out, and she always wore a yellow dress to match the ribbon around her neck. It finally occurred to Johnny that he and Jane were going steady, and he didn't know why she wore the yellow ribbon around her neck. So he asked her about it again, and yet again, and she did not tell him. Maybe someday I'll tell you about it, she'd reply. Someday. That answer annoyed Johnny, but he shrugged it off, because Jane was so cute and fun to be with. Well, time flew past, and he had a habit of doing, or as it had a habit of doing, and one day Johnny proposed to Jane, and she was accepted. I think that's not me screwing up, that's the writing. They planned a big wedding, and Jane hinted that she might tell him about the yellow ribbon around her neck on their wedding day. But somehow, with the preparations and his beautiful bride and the lovely reception, Johnny never got around to asking Jane about it. And when he did remember, she got a bit teary-eyed and said, "We are so happy together, what difference does it make?" And Johnny decided she was right. Johnny and Jane raised a family of 4 with the usual ups and downs, laughter and tears. When their golden anniversary rolled around, Johnny once again asked Jane about the yellow ribbon around her neck. It was the first time he'd brought it up since the week after the wedding. Whenever their children asked him about it, he always hushed them, and somehow none of the kids dared ask their mother. Jane gave Johnny a sad look and said, "Johnny, you've waited this long. You can wait a while longer." And Johnny agreed. It was not until Jane was on her deathbed a year later that Johnny, seeing his last chance slip away, asked Jane one final time about the ribbon she wore around her neck. She shook her head a bit at his persistence, and then said, with a sad smile, "Okay, Johnny, you go ahead and untie it." With shaking hands, Johnny fumbled for the knot and untied the yellow ribbon around his wife's neck, and Jane's head fell off.
Wow. That's funny.
It's really funny, especially when they, where was it? I saw somewhere this one had a spook rating of 4, according to this website. And I thought maybe that meant it was actually scary, but turns out it was more funny than scary. But isn't that just like a guy? He's concerned about why she wears a certain thing all the time, but still has sex with her.
You never heard that one before.
I heard someone tell a better version of it now that I've read the whole story. It wasn't the yellow ribbon, but it wasn't where it waited till her deathbed. It was more of on a single date. The guy was asking, it's the middle of summer, why are you wearing a scarf? And after a while, he gets just so fed up, he takes the scarf off and her head falls in his lap. But anyone else got something or no?
Well, in my area here, there's this asshole fur trader who started a story to drum up tourism back in the 1890s. There, with there's this this gal called Mary Jane Coolidger who died of diphtheria in like 1894. I got all the stuff on my shorts feed there. But anyhow, they proclaimed that she was a witch and she did some witchcraft there because she was a Wiccan.
Dysentery.
What?
Sorry, dysentery.
Okay.
That's what she supposedly died of. I heard the story before.
Oh, so so you've heard this story?
Dysentery is the sickness, Elihu.
Okay, I thought it was diphtheria.
Well, there's diphtheria and there's dysteria. There's dysentery.
Yeah,
those are two different diseases.
Okay. Well, anyhow, it's claimed that if you step over a grave 3 times, that you're gonna die a sudden death within the next 7 years. And there's been quite a few awkward stories. Like some guy stole their tombstone. Then on his way home there, he rolled his truck and died. I know a couple people who did it purposely there. Then like 7 years apart, each one died. And the third one's there scared to death. But they actually had to remove the tombstone from the cemetery because the sheriff's department got tired of fishing it out of the lake. But there's a guy who he was born and raised in this area here. Moved out to LA like 18 years ago, and he came back to the area. He actually made a film about it called Loon Lake, and we're actually going to be watching that next Sunday on that urban legend. It's actually a pretty decent movie for a low budget movie, and everything was filmed with local actors and all that. So we're going to be watching that next Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So feel free to come by and watch along with us.
Well, any of you else got stories?
Well, I once heard of this guy who found a divot box and was told not to open it up, and because bad things will happen, he opened it up, and 12 years later, he got hit by a car. See, never open a divot box.
That was awful, Elihu. Come on.
I know.
What about you, LDG or NB? You guys got a scary story you want to share? Even if it's one you just found?
Yeah, I do remember what's the one that starts with on this very night 10 years ago along the same stretch of road in a dense fog just like this. I saw the worst accident I've ever seen. There was a sound like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.
Yeah, okay, Large Marge.
There we go. I was waiting for somebody to get it.
I knew I'd heard it, but I'm like, I couldn't place it. I thought maybe it was something else.
Large Marge.
I'm a fan of Pee-wee, okay? Come on.
Too bad I couldn't do the effect on the. I should have looked up the filter, Large Marge filter on the camera.
You should have. I have yet to reinstall that.
I got it. Matter of fact, now that you mention it, let me see if they have a Large Marge in the stream cam. Large Marge.
All right.
Oh, they just got Simpsons. They don't have. Yeah, just Simpsons. Marge.
Oh, that would be really funny if you told the same story and then you brought up the Marge Simpson filter.
I'm not gonna lie, LDG. When you open up the mouth, it looks like she has a ball gag in.
A what?
A ball gag, LD or Elihu. You ever heard of a ball gag?
Ball gig?
You mean a ball gag?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, gag. Yeah, sorry. I'm like, what?
Oh, and for future reference, diphtheria is a condition caused by the diphtheria bacterium because it makes toxins that interfere with the normal
brain functions.
Well,
cognitive reasoning.
Yeah, a whole bunch of other things. Dysentery is also a bacteria, but it's a different bacteria that usually isn't necessarily deadly on its own, but because it includes things like vomiting and severe diarrhea, you tend to get dehydrated, and that further weakens your system, and you end up dying. And how you doing, Dandelion? We're trying to tell scary stories here, even though we got off topic for like the first 30 minutes of this thing. NB's the only one that hasn't told a scary story yet.
And he is not even muted. Wow.
You know, Dandelion, you can come up and tell a scary story if you want.
You want to see a scary story? I'll turn off my camera. Turn off my camera. You can see how best my hair is right now. I didn't even bother combing my hair when I went out to the pastry shop. I just put on my hat.
Well, if I wanted to scare y'all, I could just post the video of Mrs. Vile shaving my beard off again.
No. Actually, what's scarier than that is the video that D sent LVG to play. That's very scary.
Yes.
And LVG knows what I'm talking about.
Although between the two, I'd rather get dysentery than diphtheria.
Oh, so Vile, were you did you catch Thursday's live stream at all?
Whose?
Mine.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we had some fun, did some karaoke. I got pretty shit-faced drunk and ate a bag of the Wawa. My gas station up here now serves the Pacquiao Ghost Challenge. Ghost, not the one chip challenge, but the Ghost Pepper chips. The actual bag of Ghost Pepper Doritos.
My corner store's been selling that for over a year.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Oh, by the way, Violet, when are you doing your damn chip? By the way.
Okay. The day before Halloween, I'll do another longer live stream. At least I'm going to try to. We're going to see what happens. And if we make enough money on that one, we'll go ahead and do it.
Okay, and if you don't, then I suggest we get that chip to somebody who will actually have the balls to take it.
Yeah, it's easier to mail it to me, dude.
Because it's gonna get stale. Like, yeah, those things don't last forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
according to their packaging, they should last quite a while.
Just give it to me, man.
That's of course, their packaging is gonna say it. They're gonna put all the things in the world to make you want to buy it on the packaging. Sheesh. I love when people say that. Of course, it says it's going to cure you, or it's low on energy, or it lasts forever. Of course, they're going to put that on there.
We know how food preservatives work. We've literally been using them for several millennia now.
Yes, but it's also a fact that the chemicals eventually dilute inside of a solid. So yeah, it might last a long time, but its heat coefficient is going to be dramatically affected.
I'm pretty sure it'll be good even after a year. LDG.
Even if you had medicine goes bad after a while, even though it's
everything does degrade. But what I'm saying is there are other chemicals that can act as stabilizing agents.
No, to make it not stale. That has nothing to do with stable.
Why do you think people were adding salt to food thousands of years ago as a preservative? Okay, it keeps the meat fresh. It keeps everything fresh.
Well,
we know with modern chemicals and preservatives.
It keeps other things from growing on it. That's all.
Well, yeah.
That's all it does. It doesn't help
Besides, have you
breakdown process?
You opened it up. Is it a foil packaging or is it plastic?
It's a foil.
The foil.
Okay, so foil literally acts as an oxygen barrier. It's gonna keep it fresh for a lot, even a longer.
Well, it's not vacuum sealed. There is air in there.
Yeah, but they could probably don't have air in there, like outside breathable atmosphere air. It's probably nitrogen.
No, it's not a regular bag chip. It's actually air. They don't use nitrogen. They do not use
nitrogen in there.
They do not use nitrogen to seal the packages like we do the regular chips, dude. It's regular air. It's an air burst. The bags of chips, yes, they use nitrogen like Doritos and Fritos, but the regular single chips is regular air burst.
Anywho, needless to say, I just want you to hurry up and take the damn chip. I don't care when it goes. I don't care. If it gets rotten, I still want you to eat it. I don't care. I just want you to hurry up and take the damn chip.
Speaking of rotten, when is Bird of Prey 5 going to eat that expired can of Spam that Mama Prey has?
Oh, really?
He still hasn't eaten it yet.
Is that a thing?
He still has not eaten it yet.
All right. I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but according to Pneumatech, as well as the South Carolina something rather having to do with food, the Packy One Chip Challenge is packed in nitrogen gas.
I read it wasn't.
Well, maybe in certain areas it's sold there. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just according to South Carolina standards.
Mute.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Mute. I mute when I cough. Mute when you sneeze, man. I don't have my mask on. Jeez, cover your sneeze in the elbow, man.
Oh God, I've only had COVID 3 times. Oh shit! Here comes the next one.
Mute.
Gosh darn it!
At least you're not one of those idiots that take off your mask and sneeze and put it back on. Order, Miss Cardenas.
Oh God, I saw that so many times during COVID. It pissed me off every time.
What the hell's the point?
Defeating the purpose.
Why do you think I didn't wear a mask? Why do you think I didn't wear a mask throughout all of it? I only wore a mask in one place, and that was to see my doctor. Past that, I didn't fucking wear the goddamn thing.
Mrs. Vile's in the house, so everybody say hi to Mrs. Vile.
Hi, Mrs. Vile.
Maybe she will be as sweet as possible and come out and give me or grab my coffee cup and make me some more coffee.
He did say
That'd be
maybe. Didn't have to be.
How dare you sound sexist like that, expecting a woman to do something for you?
It's not made up,
Don't
Don't you
Dandelion.
know that women don't need a man to make
I
them
made coffee
happy?
for her this morning.
Doesn't matter that you made coffee for her. You're expected to do it. You're a man. She's a woman. You shouldn't expect anything of her.
That's why I'm not saying I'm expected. I'm asking because she's sweet and wonderful and such a nice person that she'd be willing to get me more
We
coffee.
already we already
You
doing
expect a woman
sexist
to do
right now.
something for
Is
you
this the
because
sexist
she's
hour of the
nice
show?
and sweet. You sexist pig.
Yes,
Did
I made
you?
you coffee. I put it on your nightstand. I even put it in one of the coffee mugs I got you, one of your teacher's mugs. Did you not see it? She didn't see it, and now it's gone cold by now. So now my offer or my show of appreciation was completely by.
Well, that's why you do what. That's why you do what I did, Mike. You buy one of these. Hold on a second. Can I unplug it? Can I actually show it on screen? Anyway,
Where the hell
Get
did
one
you
of these.
find what they packed this chip with air or not? I can't even find it.
Yeah,
Get
even
yourself
Curtis
one of
say
those,
all chips are
Mike.
packed
Hey,
with air and nitrogen. Without the nitrogen, it would last less than a week. Well,
Hey,
even
Charlene.
our breathable air is mostly nitrogen. So, and how you doing, Darren?
How's it going, apes?
We're still waiting for NB to tell a scary story. I told one, everyone else told other ones. So far, they've all been lame. Do you have a scary story you'd like to share? An
have a
urban
scary
legend, ghost story, or creepypasta?
Not that I'd like to share, no.
Yeah, but unfortunately, my scary stories happen to be true.
Yeah, she admits that she did not see it, but she will bring me out coffee because she's wonderful like that.
Yeah, we don't need to hear the story of the night you proposed, NB. That's okay. I'm sure that was very scary for you.
Well, let's see. I'm just gonna do a Google search real quick.
Well, my horror story would be I've been stabbed.
Oh, who hasn't been stabbed?
Yeah,
No,
what
I mean,
man does,
no, I don't know. I've been
I stab myself every day.
No,
what man
I've
doesn't-
been physically stabbed.
what man doesn't want to be penetrated, you know? It's
I did not want to be penetrated that way by my wife.
Your wife stabbed you?
Oh God, mine sounds even worse then because I was penetrated by my brother.
Ooh, dang.
No,
Look at the time. I just got here. Thank you for sharing that.
No, I got into an argument with my ex-wife, who's now my ex-wife. But at that time, she was my wife, and she was bipolar. And she grabbed the knife one day, and I knew full well what she was capable of doing. But like a dumbass, I still carried it on. And she stabbed me through my arm. And then afterwards, I had to wrap it up, drive myself to the urgent care, get some stitches in both the muscle and the skin. Still have the scar. You know, I don't talk about my sex life much, but I got stabbed in the arm, but I got a great blowjob afterwards. Hey, I'm sorry, man.
My brother stabbed me. That was not the end result.
That is a horror story. Wow.
Hey! You know what? I've got to look at the positives.
I usually stab myself too, more often than I grate off a piece of finger or thumb on the cheese grater.
Yeah. Well, NB, that's a lot more restrained than freaking Danny on Friday night on Salty Stream.
What happened?
Oh, we got the whole history of his sex life there, all the way down to him
dude,
running.
I did not want to hear that, man. That was, oh my gosh. I wish Mike would have muted him.
Hey, Elihu, do you happen to know the timestamp of that for MB?
It was about 35 minutes into the show.
You know, it's so hilarious. I had a tweet one time where I was looking at the She-Hulk. I was on a She-Hulk stream, and I was like, you know, I just want to point out she's banged 3 guys in 8 episodes. And then I simply said, I'm not judging. When I was going through my divorce, I banged 3 chicks in 6 months. I'm like, I think she's making up for lost time. And I got so much shit from people like, I don't want to hear about your sex life. I don't want to hear about your sex life. I'm like, I'm talking 17 fucking years ago, you assholes.
Dang. When I was in high school, I would have sex with 3 different women in the same week. So, yeah.
Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. Shut up.
No one believes that. No one buys
No,
that.
I'm dead serious.
No,
Oh, you got it working?
I'm sure you
Well,
think you believe it.
Why am I having a sudden case of deja vu
Yeah,
here?
your imagination doesn't count. You were daydreaming of these women, or
Sorry, hold on.
no? You know what? I wouldn't. Vile Mike strikes me as somebody who is in band, and if he was in band, I could see him being a. Those girls are freaky.
Well, any
Like
woman in the
you would
performing
know.
arts is freaky. Yeah,
Oh, I know.
that's what I observed.
Oh, I know. I used to hang around the band area.
You hung around with the wrong people. I hung around with the freaks, the losers, the goths, and that kind of crowd. And Elihu, just for you, I hung around with the stoners too.
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
brooded
much
in a room
everywhere.
by myself.
I hung around with everybody in high school. The stoners, the geeks, the dweebs, the jocks, the nerds, the art majors. I hung around with
Motorhead,
everybody.
sluts, dweebs, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
That was good. I actually saw. I was on Twitter the other day, and I saw an insult somebody put up. It was based on a meme, but I thought this fucking insult was so funny. I was like, it dealt with a New Jersey person talking about their road rage, and then the person tweeted, "Move your fucking Saturn before I push my car up Uranus." And I was just like, oh my God, I've never heard this before. This was an amazing.
I do want to, now that I'm back, because Mrs. Vile came out to grab my coffee cup. What I was saying was absolutely true. And I don't know why you guys think it wouldn't be. I mean,
You know what? Vile, sure, it was true. Yeah, it's fine.
what do you want me to give you a list of names?
We believe you, Vile Mike. We really do. Right. It's fine.
Mike, here's the simple thing: we don't give a shit. I just like nobody gives a shit about how many women I've slept with in my life. Oh, what? Did you guys think I was going to give you the number? Give me a break, you perverts. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that. Everybody was quiet. It's like, oh, you thought I was going to give you the number?
I'll be right back. I need to teach you a little joke.
Well, if I were to ballpark my number, the at least I could do is tell you that it's less than a ballpark.
It's not important. You know, in all honesty, at the end of the day, it's
I thought we were
really
supposed to be
not
doing scary
important.
stories.
It's really unimportant. I mean, the number of women I slept with, who gives a fuck? I'm with my wife. Been with her 16 years.
All right. Well,
What
I'm
more do
going
we need?
to.
How long have you been married, Mike?
We're not married, and I've never been married.
Yeah.
How long
got,
have you been legally married or whatever state married?
Neither. We live in separate countries.
Jesus Christ. Talk
Hey,
about
real-
taking long distance to a whole new level.
Man, you can't even. If she's in another country, you can't even smell her.
So I got
it's
Gap
like
Stargate
20
betting.
miles there, Vile?
Sorry, say that again, Jordan.
It's like 20 miles, ain't it?
How could she give you coffee if?
Well,
she's
I'm down in Mexico right now with her.
Okay, well.
But I live in the States. She lives down here, and we've been dating for about 6 years now.
So when is one of you gonna finally pull the cord and declare the dual citizenship?
When are you
At
moving
some
down to
point,
Mexico?
we haven't done it yet.
When is your gringo ass moving to Mexico?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm
Basically,
saying.
that's
When
what
is
it'll
your white ass
end up
moving
being,
to
because
Mexico?
it's cheaper to live down here.
I'm sure it is.
Oh,
beans
gee,
and
let's
rice.
see. Live in Mexico versus live in California. Which is cheaper? Give me a break.
Let's put it this way. My job actually offered me at one point to move to Arizona. And I kind of entertained the idea briefly because it is cheaper to live in Arizona, but it's also a lot cheaper still to live in Mexico, even in compared to Arizona.
You
So
don't
wait a
have
minute,
a
you've been dating
job.
6 years and you ain't put a ring on her finger yet? God, you're about as bad as my cousin.
Hey, I asked. She said no.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, so I got Gap here talking about when you guys were discussing your high school libido. Gap bets that a non-binary geek has slept with a total of 6 Teletubbies. Is that true?
You know what the difference?
I was told 5
You know what the
Teletubbies.
difference is between you and me, LDG, is I actually have a sex life to talk about. I just choose not to.
But you think that's a positive?
You have no sex life to talk about.
You think that's a positive? I'm sorry if you think that's
yes,
positive.
I do.
Well, let's see.
More power to you, my friend.
Going back to some urban legends real quick, there actually is an urban legend known as the baby train. It is an urban legend which claims that a small town had an unusually high birth rate because a train would pass through the town every morning at 5 o'clock and blow its whistle, waking up all the residents. And since it was too late to go back to sleep and too early really to get up, couples would have sex, and this would result in a baby boom.
I could see that.
Oh, and she's clarifying. She said not now, not no.
Well, there still is a no in the word now, so.
There's also one in not. So basically, she said no.
Hey.
So
English and Spanish.
Right.
So there
You
go,
let
clarification.
her shave your beard and head, but she would not marry you. Whoa. Boy, you are pussy wet, buddy.
Whoop-ow.
Whoops.
Oh, whoop-ow.
Oh, come on. You all were thinking it.
Come on, Chandler. Whoop-ow.
Hey, I mean, that's okay. There's nothing
Sorry,
wrong
let
with
me
me.
do it
pussy
right.
wet.
Let me do it right. Whoop-ow.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with a man being pussy wet.
Yes, Germ. I'm just hoping that after procreation, she doesn't eat my head.
Is she a black widow
Just like a
or
praying
praying
mantis. Well, that'd be a pretty empty meal, wouldn't it? I mean,
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
Oh God,
what, is she on a diet or what?
You watched the movie?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, guys. Hold on a second. Charlene, come here. All right, guys, I gotta go. My daughter wants to watch the double horror feature, so priorities, buddies.
All right. See you
Hey,
later.
no
Later,
worries about
weirdo.
that. I'll be finishing Stranger Things with my younger one.
Oh, you should
Later
ask
today.
my daughter about Stranger Things. Who's your favorite character?
I love Max and I love Eddie.
Well,
know.
the younger Violet child. The younger Violet child is dressing as Mike Wheeler for Halloween.
Yeah. Hey, MB, there. We're watching Stranger Things on Wednesdays. If you guys want to join us.
Shoot me a DM link. Yeah, I mean, I'd be more than happy to. I invent. You know, season 4 was a little hard for me to follow, but that was because it seemed like there were so many story arcs going. But my daughter here really enjoyed it, and I got to be honest, I thought the payoff was worth it.
We're still on season 1.
Okay.
We just started 2 weeks ago, so
I
we're
have
on
yet-
we're on 5 and 6 for episodes.
I have yet to
Okay.
see season 4, so I haven't even bothered
All right,
watching it
guys. All right. Well, I got a double feature due. I got a Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Child's Play 2. So catch you guys on the flip side.
Well,
Later.
and
boss.
one quick thing.
Take it easy.
Tell your
Yeah.
daughter to check out Snow Cone Cam on TikTok. Maybe they can do a collab or something.
Snow Cone Cam on TikTok.
Yes.
Do you know
That's hers.
that one, Charlene? She's about to check it out. She's about to check out Snow Cone Cam. What does Snow Cone Cam do?
She just posts random stuff, but most of it's Stranger Things related because she loves that show now.
It's his kid. It's one of the Vile kids.
So what's wrong with that if my kid and his kid hit it off?
I didn't say anything wrong with that. I'm just saying.
They talk about parents behind their back, kid. Remember? Okay, that's dangerous.
But it would be funny if they did a collab or something.
A collab on Stranger Things, maybe they would.
I've seen 4 episodes so far and can't remember much of anything about it. I'm going to have to start taking notes. Are you
All
guys
right, she's found it. She'll look. Hey, Mike, she's found your daughter. She'll look at it later, but we're gonna go hit the movies up. So, you guys take care. I'd have been here longer, but hey, family priorities, man.
Yep. All right. Later, man.
See you later.
Well, speaking of movies, me and Mrs. Vile plan on going to see Black Adam later today.
Watch it. It's a must.
Nice.
Got like a 90% audience rating on what's his face.
Hey, LDG, if you're gonna put a censored thing over your face there, you should just make it a big giant middle finger with censored written on it.
Or that parental discretion chick.
Or is that just because your nose looks like a penis? I mean, look, the censored bar is like when he turns his head is sticking out like his nose. That's
That's the
coming
mic.
out right where his nose would be.
That's the mic. Oh, well, I see.
Stop ruining the joke, Elihu.
You're a god, dude. You really know how to. Oh wait, sorry. There you go.
Speaking of, check out what I just found. A rare Star Wars trading card.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is an actual image, people.
Well, it is an actual image.
Sure, it is.
Photoshop. It's still an image.
It's not Photoshop. What it was just interesting timing. A piece of his costume fell off, and as it was falling, they snapped the picture, and it just happens to look like his, C-3PO's got a heart on.
It was basically the top 78 Star Wars card set, card number 207.
Well, let's see. I got a list of urban legends off of Wikipedia. Anything that you guys want to? Anything you think of? All right, can think of that might be on the list.
How about the
What?
radiation? The radiated kids. Is that one on there?
What list of what?
Urban legends off of Wikipedia.
Well, did you guys know that in 1945, 46, a lot of mothers in the Midwest were reporting that they weren't unable to bury their children because they kept on being stolen and disappeared. People thought there's the government conspiracy. There was like dead bodies. Well, that actually turned out to be true because the government was doing experiments on radiation with dead kids.
Well, hold on. The only thing I see on here related to radioactivity is the mutated Fukushima giant hornets that apparently are giant mutated killer hornets created from exposure from the Fukushima, car nuclear disaster that have killed several people in Nebraska. Because we all know if there were mutated murder hornets from Japan, they'd go straight for the Midwest. They'd skip over the Pacific. They'd skip over the Rocky Mountains.
They'll fly over the Rockies. Yeah, they'll fly over the Rockies through the deserts.
Well, Vile, there could be an explanation for that. They could have been in a cargo container that wasn't opened up until it got to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how much stuff in Nebraska is being shipped from Japan?
We got stuff from my old workplace there. We got stuff from Japan quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We could always tell when Customs opened up one of our boxes because it'd have a U.S. Customs enforcement tape on it. Except for when we on the cases they flip out on Customs there because we had to retape up a lot of the cases there because we did not want Customs enforcement tape on it.
Yeah, Customs opens up and inspects products at the ports, not at the actual delivery location. So
yeah, but they don't inspect every single container. They don't inspect every single container, every single box.
No, they'll pick one at random and they'll go open it up and open this box up right there. Yeah, I got a friend who works down
or
there.
something that looks fishy on an X-ray scanner.
Yeah. Yeah, out of about 5,000 cargoes ships on the ship, they'll pick about maybe 5 or 6 of them out of randoms. Like, okay, yeah, we'll take that one right there. Look at that one. No, keep going, keep going. Hey, I want to look at that one. Yeah.
Oh, this is a funny one. Have you guys ever heard of the Beast of Bladenboro?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Beast of Bray Road.
No, apparently this is a vampire cat that was responsible for a string of deaths in Bladenboro, North Carolina during the winter of 1953.
A vampire cat.
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't a chupacabra, a miniaturized chupacabra with mange?
No, because it was, of course, a vampire cat. That would be the only explanation for people dying during the winter. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's a dog one. Well, there's Daryl Bettis. I'm sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Or Bettis. He is known as the Dog Boy of Quiltman, Arkansas.
They have one of those hair disorders.
I have no idea.
Hypertrichosis, I think that's what it's called.
Nah, it's probably just a furry that puts on that glued fur to his head, to himself there to identify as a dog.
There's the for another dog related one. There's the urban legend of the choking Doberman.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
It's an urban legend originating in the United States. It's a story involving a protective pet found by its owner gagging, and when the owner reaches into the dog's mouth to pull out what it's choking on, he pulls out human fingers.
Here's how I heard it. That the old lady takes her Doberman to the vet because he's hacking and choking, and they extract 3 black fingers from his throat, and they come back to the house, and in her closet is a Cuban refugee who had bled to death in her closet because he hid in there after being bit by the dog. It came about after Castro had basically emptied his jails and allowed those people to come to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And it proliferated. It always happened like 2 towns away, but never in your hometown. It's more of a rural legend than an urban legend, but yeah.
Okay, well, according to Wikipedia, the first verifiable appearance of that particular legend occurred on June 24th, 1981. Mm-hmm. And
verifiable?
It apparently happened in Las Vegas.
Those are chupacabras in the Southwest, dude. Not vampire cats.
So does it say what newspaper was? Oh, it was the newspaper was the Las Vegas Sun.
Never heard of
it. Passed around by Murder Mouth for years before that. So
variations. The number of fingers dredged from the dog's throat varies, as does their color. In many tellings, the race of intruder goes unspecified. At times, the discovered digits are described as black or Mexican, adding a racist spin to the tale.
Exactly.
In the 1980s, Doberman was the usual star.
Wait a minute. If they were white, would that not be racist as well? I mean, that's weird.
No, I think the point of it would be pointing out the race makes it racist, not necessarily anything else.
Yeah, because it used to be just plain old fingers. Now it's black fingers, brown fingers. Yeah.
Well, it's just a descriptor. I mean.
Yeah, but the color of the fingers.
Is what also, to be honest, if I heard it was black fingers, I wouldn't necessarily think that was a black person. I would think that's because they necrotized so badly.
Right.
But that's just my personal take. But that's just how when I first heard you say black fingers, I thought it was because they had necrotized.
Right.
Yeah, general public, when you say that, they'll think, oh, okay, that's somebody that's
They think of the color black as opposed to the ethnicity or whatnot.
Oh, I gotta do laundry today. Damn. I hate walking to laundromats.
Well, that reminds me, I gotta load up the washer. Thanks, Elihu.
I hate walking to the laundromats.
Okay, so yeah, apparently in the early 1980s, the story was posted at least in 3 newspapers, including the Phoenix New Times and the Las Vegas Sun.
The Phoenix New Times? That thing went out of publication when I was a kid, man. It was under Republic.
It doesn't matter. I mean, even if it's not a publication, it's still said that particular one. Let's see. What's another urban legend? What's an urban legend you guys actually know of? And maybe we could look it up to see its history.
Mothman.
Well, I told you the one urban legend I know.
Most cryptids are also urban legends as well.
Yeah, I mean, this list does include. I already saw Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Chupacabra. I mean, but I'm not going to do any cryptids because that's its own category as well. But any other ones that you guys know about that we can try to look up?
No, the only one I know is really well is the one that I mentioned earlier.
Well, how about you go down to Mexico and go spend a night on Doll Island?
Heard of that one. I've heard of the one that the bride to be that used the sun tanning booth too much and she microwaved her inner organs and died on her wedding day.
Yeah,
Which-
I've heard some of that.
which requires a lack of understanding as to how tanning beds work. But you know, other than that,
I don't see anything about Doll Island on the list.
You never heard of Doll Island in Mexico? There's
No.
this caretaker. Oh, sorry, this girl who drowned, and this caretaker found the body. He was haunted. He basically gave a doll because he felt sorry for her, and strange things happening. You see the girl's apparition, you see the mother's apparition, and more people. The guy ended up dying. The caretaker dying in the exact same place that he found the body. And it's allegedly haunting that him and the girl is now haunting the island because there's like hundreds of dolls there. They allegedly move and other shit because of the so-called haunting of the little girl and the caretaker.
no. There's also the bear, the island of the dancing bears, as well.
Well, sorry, I decided to look up Island of the Dolls, and it is in on a small island in one of the channels of Mexico City, and apparently it's full of dolls hanging from trees, buildings covered with cobwebs and insects.
Yeah.
It was named in the 1950s when dolls started randomly appearing on the island.
That's the vacation spot.
It also has its name in Spanish, but I'm not going to say that because Mrs. Vile is listening, and I don't want to grossly mispronounce something.
Basically, you don't want to get
There is no Mrs. Vile.
Yes.
You just established that a couple of minutes ago.
Hey, Vile.
Lion.
Okay, hold on. Do you think Vile Mike is my real name?
It's the Mrs. part that we get upset about here, not the vile part.
Yeah, if you say
what
Miss,
I'm saying is,
Yeah, it should be like Ms. Pac-Man or Ms. Vile. It should not be Mrs. Vile. Mrs. means something, okay?
English, dude.
well, the
Or
persona
mix.
can be Mrs. Vile. That's the persona.
Yeah, like Mrs. Pac-Man.
Well, as we stated, or as he made clear, it's Ms. Pac-Man, not Mrs. Pac-Man.
Well, shame on you, Mrs. Robinson.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
Yeah, it's Miss Robinson. Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know if it's that funny, but yeah, all right.
But yeah, the little story you just told about that was definitely an urban legend, Eliu, because apparently it's not true.
Yeah.
Told you I can come up with one.
Island of the Dancing Bears is a fun one. It was basically where this circus was traveling across the Atlantic, and they had a couple of trained dancing bears on board where they got shipwrecked, and there was an island off the Azores that they swam to, and they arrived on the island and began, procreating. And then years later, people came to this island, and every night at like around midnight under the full moon or whatever, all the bears would get together and dance in a circle, because it reminded them of the Big Top. I thought that was kind of a fun story.
To the Teddy Bear Circus.
Yeah.
Well, that one's not on the list either. But when I typed in, because I typed in dancing and bears, and nothing came up. But when I typed in circus, the first one that popped up made me laugh. Apparently, there's an urban legend about a circus performer accidentally being swallowed by a hippopotamus.
That'll happen.
Hey, today is National Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day.
Oh, and I have the day off from work. Darn it.
And another plane crashed in Russia again. But UFOs and Doctor Who is really trending on Twitter right now.
Why is that?
Well, today's the last episode of Jodie. It airs in a couple hours. And for
What,
some reason,
she's regenerating?
yes, she's supposed
Today?
to regenerate. Yes.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's supposed to.
watch party. Oh,
Chin-
I'm going to blow that one up big.
Chinbug gave a spoiler-free interview, and I have not yet to watch that.
Oh, I'm so putting that on.
I'm not sure
I
what time it
gotta
airs.
see that woman.
I haven't looked it up
I gotta
yet.
see Whitaker die.
Her regeneration is online, but it doesn't show the new Doctor regenerating. It just shows her fading and the glow and everything. But that's it.
And they're not gonna spoil that in an online video.
No.
Oh, they're doing it the same way they did it with basically the last two Doctors, if I remember correctly.
Well,
I don't
Germ,
remember
according
them.
according to the article linked to that part, sorry for interrupting, but apparently it was a Austrian dwarf in an Austrian circus performing in the United States, and when the dwarf was bouncing on a trampoline and he misjudged one of his bounces and he ended up going off at an angle, and right at the same time the hippo yawned, opening its mouth really wide, and the dwarf landed straight into the mouth, and the hippo, without knowing what to do, swallowed.
Okay.
Did they get him out?
Nope. Apparently he was killed. At least according to the
So yeah, by the time they figure out what to do, he'd suffocated most likely if he hadn't been crushed.
one of the notes it makes on the actual article is apparently on the Ricky Gervais show, someone told the story in a segment, and the person telling the story believes it was actually true, and it caused Ricky Gervais to just bust out laughing hysterically because the guy thought it was true.
Wouldn't surprise it. Wouldn't surprise me. Possible, feasible. I could see it happening. Why not? Sure.
It'd have to depend on how small that dwarf was.
Well, we know what the maximum height of a dwarf is, so it's got to be smaller than that.
We also know the maximum size of a hippo.
Hippos are very, very dangerous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they'll eat you.
By them than
They've
sharks.
been known to eat humans.
Well, there's a popular story in a meme format that's online about a guy who raised a hippopotamus from the time it was a baby, and then it rewarded him by eating him later.
Yep. Well, he shouldn't have raised a female.
I don't think the gender had anything to do with it. I mean,
females tend to eat their loved other ones.
So
Kind of funny. It's either they eat them or their kids eat them.
It has to do more with hippos than anything else. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I'm taking it to the next dimension.
of course you
And
are.
technically it's the hippo
Keep your
bulls
hands
that are
in.
more aggressive than the females.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
the way it
why
is
that's
in
why
a lot of
zoos have more
species.
female hippos than males in their enclosures.
Well, in light of Halloween, they of course have the poisoned candy myths about
Well,
people
those aren't
hiding
really myths anymore.
objects or poison in candy.
Oh my gosh, like drug dealers going to hand out free samples to kids and everybody. Yeah, please.
That happened before. It happened in Ohio like 2 years ago. Some guy was putting little baggies of meth in kids' candy to try to get them hooked on it, the subway. That happened in Ohio.
No, the thing is, they're not talking about hiding it. It's like basically it's in plain sight. Here's the drug. It looks like candy. It's not hiding it inside candy. It's drugs presented as candy. Yeah, like
I've
drug
heard
dealers going to hand out
people
free
putting razor
drugs.
blades in.
Yeah.
I've also heard
that's
razor
another myth.
blades getting put inside apples.
Yeah, that's a myth as well.
Yeah. Who gives out apples for Halloween?
I know.
I got an apple
Maybe
a couple.
in the mid-century, maybe, but
but not now.
No, I've gotten apples a couple times, but of course they always ended up getting smashed against the person's house.
All right,
That's a whole
hold on.
different song.
I want to read this to you, Jordan. It says right here, almost all tampering cases at a rate of 1 or 2 per year involve a family or friend member, usually as a prank. Almost all of these involved sharp objects rather than poisoning. 3/4 of them resulted in no injuries, and the rest resulted in only minor injuries. No child has ever been killed by eating Halloween candy given by a stranger. You literally just gave a textbook example of an urban legend, and I'm kind of loving it.
No, but it's true that people were hanging out shit.
Well, that's only if you believe your source.
Remember the big old scare in the 90s? X-ray your, there's huge X-ray stations on Halloween and November 1st. Parents can take their kids to the police station, have their candy X-rayed for free. There's a big old publicity thing. I remember that in the 90s in Phoenix.
Yeah, I remember that, but it's mostly horse shit that actually happened.
Yeah.
Let's see. When does it say it started?
There goes the rooster.
Yep. All right. Several events in the late 20th century fostered the modern day candy tampering myth. In 1959, a California dentist by the name of William Shine gave candy-coated laxative pills to trick-or-treaters. He was charged with outrage of public decency and unlawful dispensing of drugs.
That's how you clear the streets real fast.
In 1964,
so early, where all the kids are at.
A New York woman gave out packages of inedible objects to children she believed were too old to be trick-or-treating. The packages contained items such as steel wool dog biscuits or ant buttons, which were clearly labeled with the word poison. Though nobody was injured, she was prosecuted and pleaded guilty to endangering children.
So you're proving my point here that it does happen.
But what I'm also saying is no one has died from it, and those are two examples that they're giving. One of the things they also talk about are the I cannot talk. Chicago Tylenol murders, which is another thing that because it happened 1 month before Halloween in the 1980s, people thought that it was linked it to Halloween candy, even though it had nothing to do with it.
I remember that. That was a great. The Tylenol poisonings were a great time for Excedrin and Bear.
Yeah, that's when the FDA said, okay, all medications that have that seal in the cotton image.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was just an asshole who put in some Tylenol bottles potassium cyanide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Tylenol. I didn't understand it when I was a kid when it happened, but later in life, there's some people that can't get through a day of work without taking at least one aspirin or Tylenol.
Hell, I keep Excedrin in the car in case I ever get a headache.
I can't.
You know what the difference? You know what's special about Excedrin, though, right?
It just has 3 different ingredients that all treat headaches. That's all.
It has caffeine in it.
Yes.
Yeah, caffeine's acts as a blood thinner, which helps you with the pressure and headaches.
Yeah.
It has aspirin, acetaminophen, and caffeine.
Right. But that's the big difference. It's an upper.
And shellac.
That way.
It also has shellac.
And how you doing, Yvette?
Hey, Yvette.
Top of the morning. Or the evening.
Hello.
Yeah, it's supper time there. Let's see. Since it's near Halloween, I'm going to look up anything other related to Halloween. Maybe there's more. Helps if I spell it correctly. I must be like Elihu. I typed in Halloween. Well, there's the 1962 Halloween Massacre, an urban legend about a terrifying photo of a costume party in which 7 people were killed on Halloween night in 1962.
Well, if there can be a St. Valentine's Day massacre, there ought to be also the possibility of a Halloween massacre. That makes sense, right?
And apparently this urban legend is one of the things they think spawned the idea behind the Michael Myers Halloween movies.
Oh, you'd have to ask John Carpenter, right?
Well, I'm just going by what it says here. Take everything on this list with a grain of salt, of course. The story of the Buckley family, an urban legend about an old photo of two children who murdered their mother one Halloween.
Yeah, you could totally see that happening.
There's the Gateway to Hell urban legend. Located in Gull Cemetery, Kansas. The stairs of an old church open to the other side on Halloween night. Okay, this one's just, I don't know why this is even on the list. The Hanging Man of Halloween, which is really a misnomer because it's supposed to be about a 42-year-old woman who hanged herself on a tree. That makes no sense. All right, that's apparently it for Halloween urban legends on this list.
How about, portals to hell and stuff? The one that I always thought was interesting was Mel's Hole. That was a feature on the Art Bell show.
Oh,
This
Coast
guy
to
named
Coast?
Mel he would call in talking about this hole he found on his property that he thought was bottomless, and then eventually the feds came and wouldn't let him on his property. And fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like the you've heard about the one where the Russians dig a hole to hell?
You mean whether they put the microphone, they heard screaming? Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Elihu?
Where they lowered the microphone down and they heard screaming and fires and they allegedly heard sounds of hell. Yeah, I heard about that.
There were guys when I was in the Navy that talked about certain parts of the world where you go real deep on the sub and you could hear people screaming through the sonar hydrophones and stuff.
Oh yeah, make port in Africa or something, and he would tell about how some guys would go out for a night of drinking and run into cannibals, and never to be heard from again. Of course, the first thing I asked when my dad told me this story, and I was like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, something like that, was if they were never heard from again, how do you know it was cannibals? And of course, now that I'm an adult, the first thing that I'm thinking of is, how do they know that not only was it cannibals? You're telling me that a sailor disappears off ship one night and it's not because he got randomly drunk, hooked up with somebody, or killed in another fashion?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're all being quiet.
Sorry,
I'm doing some laundry real quick.
Sorry, I was coughing. Let's smoke in CBD. You can clean my screen.
Well, I guess since we're not going to be talking about the topic as much, I might as well bring up something that Mrs. Vile asked me to bring up on the live stream.
There is no Mrs. Vile.
Miss Vile.
Ms. Mile.
Miss Vile.
MZ.
I'm sorry, her nickname is still going to be Mrs. Vile, regardless of marital status. But
Not for us.
Well, at least not for you.
Yeah.
She's not my woman.
But she wanted.
How do we even know she exists?
I've heard her in the background.
All right. How do you know
Hear
that's
in the background?
I know that's not a paid actress.
Oh, that's true. Whose arm
think
was that?
You think I'm rich enough to pay somebody?
It doesn't have to be an expensive paid actress.
Do you think I can afford even a cheap actress?
Oh, you know, birthday clowns are a form of acting. I mean,
Hey, you could get some of these actresses show up for like $50 for a day.
Hold on, I want to bring something up. Hold on. All right. According to ZipRecruiter, the annual salary for a clown is $56,000 a year.
right, but how much do you hire? How much do you pay for a clown to show up one time for a party?
About $100, $150, depending on the
Okay,
event.
I think you could afford that.
Are you kidding me? I can't even afford new tires.
Hey,
Affording. New
Jared,
tires
he
cost a
lives
lot
in
more than that.
California where they tax 70% of his income.
Yeah, exactly. I can't afford a birthday clown. The closest thing to a birthday clown I have.
Once a year, you can't come up with $100, huh?
No,
Even
I
if
was
a
making
cheap
a
actress
joke.
will be
No wonder
out.
you're in
The
Mexico.
birthday clown I can afford is having LDG on my stream.
Yeah, but look what Miss Vile said.
Even a cheap actress will be out of budget.
Dude, I still say you need to turn out Flame Blue and beat James Woods, okay?
Well, one of the things she wanted me to ask you guys, because she's teaching at a new school and they have her teaching history. And one of the subjects
Go ahead.
they'll be talking about is the Mexican American.
The Mexican American War.
Did I just drop out for a second?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
If you want to talk about the Mexican American War, talk to Jesse's wife.
No.
Yeah,
She
that won't be biased at all, will it?
She wants to ask you guys what you guys remember being taught about the Mexican American War from an American perspective when you guys were in grade school and high school.
Oh, that one there. The guy who at the Alamo there,
Crockett.
was it Travis
and Crockett?
Yeah, he disobeyed Samuel Houston's orders to abandon the Alamo there, but they decided to stay, and they held off Santa Anna for 13 days there, killed 600 of his soldiers. Then when Santa Anna moved on, he made the mistake of splitting up his forces, and they got trapped on a peninsula there after his other half got annihilated. And then there's like 18 survivors or something like that. I can't remember all of it.
Okay.
There was more than 18 survivors at the Alamo. There was about
No,
300 survivors.
Not at the Alamo. Santa Anna got trapped on the peninsula.
I'm sorry. You're talking about Santa Anna's army, man. Sorry.
No, this is what I want to point out. Jordan, the Battle of the Alamo took place almost 5 years before the Battle of the Spanish and American War. While it was related to it, it wasn't actually part of it.
Yeah,
so that's what I think she's talking about, is the fact that we don't really hear that much about the Spanish-American War. Or, sorry, the Mexican-American War. Not the Spanish-American War. That's a different war entirely. But we hear more about what led to it and the aftermath. We don't really hear about the war itself.
Well, it's still going on.
Yeah.
No.
And hey, Jill.
Yeah, it's called the War on Drugs.
I heard that Pancho Villa's tactics were like the art of war. He was very guerrilla and precisive when it came to ambushes, and that's what really got the America even more involved because of the tactics of the Mexican army.
Yeah, but with Pancho Villa, did he end up on the hood of?
I was going to say Pancho Villa was before or after.
Sorry, I'm not. What the hell was his name? What the hell was his name? Shit.
Santa Anna. I think is who you're thinking of, Lahu.
Yeah, you're thinking
I'm
of
sorry.
Santa Anna because that's who we fought. That was who was in charge.
Yeah,
Well,
but
not really. I think back. He wasn't really in charge at the time. He was, he's who the Texans fought during the battle or the war for Texas independence. Technically,
yeah,
we.
Okay, sorry.
yeah, but did Pancho Villa end up on the hood of Patton's car in the early 1900s there, and he brought his body back to the base on the hood of the car or the Jeep?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was Pancho Villa that Patton chased back down into Mexico and brought him back on the hood of the Jeep.
Don't remember that part of history. Oh, it's anti-derivative Jill's in the chat.
Yeah, I said hi to her.
What's wrong with derivatives?
Nothing's wrong with Jill. She's anti-derivative.
I know. I want to know what's so bad about derivatives.
And we have a teenage girl in the bottom corner. Look at this.
Well, stay away from her, Elihu.
Yeah, and Germ is saying that isn't Patton, and I'm looking up Pancho Villa, and I don't see anything about that.
Okay, I must have got generals confused. Sorry.
You say car because I don't know Pancho Villa. I didn't know he was around during the
Yeah, 1910,
cars.
1912. Yeah, there was Jeeps and cars. Those small cars.
Okay. I had a statuette of Pancho Villa in my bedroom when I was a kid, and he had a donkey. People don't exactly ride donkeys either, so.
Yeah. So, but what do you guys remember being taught about in school about this Mexican American War?
I think we've clearly demonstrated that we don't remember anything about it. So, what's your point?
Well,
Yeah,
I
come on, history.
I think that's kind of interesting because literally the only thing I remember was a border dispute between two rivers, and that's all that I can really remember. Because I didn't learn more about it until late high school, college, and the only reason I learned a lot about it in college was because I was taking an archaeology class as one of my electives in college, and we actually did archaeological work at the San Pasqual battlefield here in San Diego. But yeah, it's like I know the aftermath of the war. I know the Texas independence, but it's like the war we don't talk about. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've met kids who don't know anything about the Korean War. They asked me, did I fight in Vietnam? And I said, no. I said, my dad fought in Vietnam. Oh, so you were in World War II? I'm like, no.
You're not that old.
You're going backward. They don't have any clue when these what the order is. And I mentioned and you forgot the Korean War, and there was a war with Korea. They didn't know anything about it. They don't know in what year the War of 1812 took place. You ask them, they don't know.
That took place in 1809.
What took place in 1809?
The War of 1812.
War of 1812.
Well, technically. But like you guys all know what was the result of the Mexican-American War, right?
The Gadsden Purchase. The Gadsden Purchase,
we
right?
forgot about it.
Yeah. Was it the Gadsden Purchase? The Arizona border?
That's essentially when we acquired California, Nevada, parts of Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado. I don't know if I already said that one.
Yeah, I think it was.
That sounds like Mexico didn't have a very good negotiator right there.
Yeah.
Well, they
did. They did. Look at the Arizona southern border. They had a great negotiator. They did not want to have U.S. to have a port by Mexico, so that's why it's such an angle like that.
Well, the other thing is, even though we technically won the war, we paid them $15 million plus other monies.
Mhm.
In modern amount, it was basically we purchased a large portion, not purchased, but we gave them money for a large amount of the land that today would be about $50 billion.
Mhm.
So
That's a
we
good math
technically
skill,
won
D.
the war, but we paid them at the end. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, sometimes that's
started
weird.
because of the Mexicans attacking us in a disputed area between two rivers in Texas.
Mhm.
But yeah,
It's
so
too early for
apparently, yeah,
history.
I guess to answer Mrs. Vile's question, we
Yes,
don't know.
No, we know of it in terms of something called that war happened, but we don't know the details of it. I went to parochial school, and I came away from that knowing a lot more about specific events in history than my public school counterparts did. But still, the Mexican-American War was not one that we might have spent like a day talking about it, and that'd be it.
I grew up in the
That's one we
Southwest,
don't care about.
I grew up in the Southwest,
Yeah.
and I barely remember in school.
We had a lot more stuff about like Wisconsin history since I was in Wisconsin than
Well, maybe
other
that's
parts of the
because
country.
maybe the only reason I learned more about it was because I went to grade school in California, which was one of the things we got in because of the war, and two, I went to summer school a couple of times in Texas, where of course in summer school all they talk about when it comes to history is the history of Texas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe that's it.
I never went to summer school.
Oh, my family used summer school as a form of child care during the summer. Yes, that was Jill makes a good point, because that was one of the other things I remember from it was the whole manifest destiny, and that's one of the reasons we kind of went to war to begin with, because the presidents back then were all about, it's our duty to do this.
You said duty.
Well, Jill, if you're free, why don't you come online and you could say what you remember about it? But again, try to stick to what you learned in early high school / grade school.
I haven't spoken to you. I haven't said hi, Jill. I want to say hi in chat. Come on up. It's been a while. I guess she's not going to come up. She's a fast typer. Oh, I need more coffee. One moment.
All right, I'm gonna edit this for a
I gotta
second.
take off my headphones for coffee. Be right back.
How long are you planning on streaming, Vile?
Oh, whenever, however long you guys want to do this.
Okay.
Bird's gonna do his Twilight Zone here eventually, so
Yeah, that's at 1:30 though.
yeah.
I should say Central Time.
Okay, I'm back physically, not mentally.
So business as usual. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about buying that new original Spider-Man on the PlayStation Store. It's on sale.
Why not, Jill? You could easily come up.
The link is in the pinned chat. Scroll all the way up.
Hey, come on, Jill. I'm not as bad up here as I am in your chats.
I'm pretty bad.
Yes, he is. Yes, you do. You know all about the
Too
Dominion
bad.
War. Come on, that's a lie. You know every detail about the Dominion War, so that's a lie. You know about wars.
God dang it. Won't let me change it.
Well, that's Jill, huh?
Speaking of, how is the weather down there, LDG?
LDG, you scared her
Pretty
off.
cool right now.
Is it Disneyland
Is it
weather?
me? Damn it.
Is it Disney World weather?
I would go to Disney World right now. Yeah, sure.
Huh.
I would totally go to Disney World. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can actually afford to go down there now.
I don't know. I'd rather go to Disneyland only because it's closer.
Yeah, but Disney World, I get it for free with LDG.
Why do you get in free with LDG?
Because he has his dad's gold pass, which means free admittance, free entrance to all the Disney parks.
So he would come here, and we could also go to Disneyland. What's the? I don't understand.
Disneyland is inferior.
And that way we don't have to go to friggin' Florida.
It's the original. No, it has
And the
historic-
original isn't. This is the one instance where the sequel outsurpassed the original.
Outsurpassed? I think that's a little bit of a double.
Yeah, people, Disney.
All right,
fanatics,
later, Jill.
Later, Jill.
See ya, Jill.
Disney fanatics have been saying Disney World is the primary spot to visit, but they really can't afford it. That's why they go to Disneyland. But people prefer to actually go to Disney World itself because it's like a 2-day event to actually go through the whole entire park. Disneyland, you can go
The
through
reason
one
why
whole
it's
day.
called World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm not. You're definitely right. I'm saying you're right about the size. But let's do this. I'm gonna look up size comparison.
Oh, dude, Disney World is humongous compared to Disneyland.
LD gets nervous when you mention size comparison.
I was in the pool. I was in the pool.
Yeah, the dolphin told me to tell you that the ocean was really cold that day. Yeah.
All right. This is the first thing that when I just typed in size comparison Disneyland, Disney World. The two parks couldn't be more different when it comes to their sizes. Disney World covers an astonishing 43 square miles of land. Disneyland is just 500 acres. That means 51 Disneylands can fit inside Disney World.
Now, is that the entire Disney area or just Disney World?
Well, they're talking about the entire plot of land. They're not actually talking about
Good.
the amount of developed land on it because more than
'Cause
half
Disney's
of the land
got room
of Disney
for
World
2 more
is technically
parks.
undeveloped.
Yeah, they got room for like 2 more parks if they wanted to.
See if I can
Easy, 2 huge parks.
map.
Yeah, this is a little slow.
Why won't it just let me bring up the damn image? It's not the best size, but
Wow, it is expensive to fly to Orlando right now. It's cheaper to fly to Hawaii. Shit.
I'd
So,
rather go
yeah.
to the Dills.
if you look up the actual size of developed Disney World, it's about twice as big as Disneyland.
Sorry, dude. It's cheaper to fly
Not
to Hawaii
including
than
the
to
Animal
Florida.
Kingdom.
And if you counted like all the adjacent things like Celebration Florida, which is the town that Disney created to house their employees and things like that, yeah, you could, if you wanted to include that, you could make
Wild child alerts. Wild child alerts.
Hey, sweetheart. And
Hey, Caddy.
since you're here, why don't you click the link and join the chat, sweetheart? Got a question to ask you that Mrs. Vile wants me to ask you.
Ms.
Wow.
You're gonna die on that hill, aren't you, Darren?
Oh, it's a comfy hill. Got, like, grass
you
on
like
it.
hills? Come to San Francisco if you like hills.
It's got like grass on it. It's the right angle. You know, sun's behind you.
All right, Darren, can you accept that the character of Mrs. Vile is the wife of the character Vile Mike?
Yes, I can. I'm just playing with
Okay.
it. It's fine.
Because those that actually like know me know that Mike is not my first name. It's not what
Right.
I go by on my
Right.
professional.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yes, Resolute. Save your father from his guest, especially the guy who's fuzzed.
Gotta wait to see if she actually says she'll come up, or if she'll actually, if I see the thing.
Somebody's
I mean,
dog.
plus she also just graduated high school. She might actually remember more stuff about what we're talking about.
If
I don't know.
she's
My last
father-
semester of high school was a major info dump.
I remember my last semester of high school.
Yeah, Darren.
Not only did I not learn anything, I forgot things I already knew.
Yeah, I forgot the gas price was 15 mil. I forgot all about that.
One of the things I told Caddy about my senior year of high school was my freshman year of high school. I had I took a whole bunch of classes, and I ended the year with a 5.0 grade point average. Sophomore year, 5.0 grade point average. Junior year, 5.0 grade point average. Senior year, 1.6.
There you go.
That sounds like me. My senior year was a 3.3. Everything else was a 5.
Yeah, my brother, he is 10 years, younger than I am, and I remember when he decided he was gonna stop going to high school, before with one semester left to go, and I said, Luke, do you know what I did my last semester of high school? Jack shit and Jack left. Okay, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting in there, wasting not wasting your time, but you're spending your time. You're not doing anything hard or difficult because most people have already been placed in there. They know where they're going to be in the next fall, and well, I can't stand it. Okay, well, do then. And then it bit him in the ass 2 years later when he tried to join the Marine Corps because the Army would have taken him without a college degree or a high school diploma, but the Marine Corps required a GED and I can't remember how many hours of 101 college credit that he had to pay for. It's like, if you just stayed in high school for 3.5 more months, you could have,
There she is.
whatever.
There she is.
I recognize that icon. That's Bonnie and Clyde.
And Germ, I started smoking and drinking long before high school. So how you doing, sweetheart?
Well, I just woke up.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, wait, you're still a teenager. Never mind.
Well,
Wow.
Mrs. Wild has a question she wanted to ask the panel, and since you're here and you're slightly younger than everyone, I'm going to ask you too. What do you remember being taught in grade school and high school about the Mexican-American War?
Jack shit.
See, it's a war we don't care about.
But I'll bet you they learned all about diversity.
It's like I thought it wasn't the Mexicans. I thought it was the Spanish.
No, that's a different war. That was where we fought the Spanish War when the USS Maine blew up. The boiler blew up on the USS Maine. We thought the Spanish attacked it, so we declared war on Spain, and that lasted like 3 months. That's all I remember.
Welcome to several minutes ago.
I also don't remember most of school. I've tried to forget it.
Typical wild child.
Well, maybe you could send a message to your sister. Ask her, because she's in grade school. Since I'm in Mexico, I can't text her right now.
You can't text, but you can use the internet.
You can text on the internet, dude. There's a website to do that. Send text messages.
It was JP's, but we shifted topics several times because every time I went back, we would, it would drift off. So, you gotta understand, every time I tried to get it back on topic, it would get messed up.
You know, I can tell you a few ghost stories. Unlike my dad, who doesn't believe in this shit, I do.
All right, so go ahead and get us back on topic. Tell us your favorite ghost story, urban legend, or creepypasta.
At least are the ones that I've experienced. Like, shit that should not have been able to happen, but it did, and I'm still confused on it.
All right, hold on. Germ, I have WhatsApp. My younger kids do not.
I love how you distinctly say your younger kids, because you know I haven't.
I know you have. It's funny. I only have 3 people on WhatsApp. Mrs. Vile, you, and your mom.
And you don't even text me on WhatsApp, which is even funnier.
Nope. I usually message you on Messenger because I can see when you're actually active on Messenger, and I know that, okay, she hasn't been on in 2 hours. That either means something's wrong or she's at work.
Okay. It could also mean I'm playing video games. But back to the ghost stories.
All right, yeah, tell us your favorite ghost story. That is absolutely 100% true.
I love you, Dad. One of my favorite things, it still is going to the supposedly haunted locations. When me and my dad went to Arizona, one of the first things I said is I wanted to go to the haunted prison, Yuma Territorial. We did go there. My dad's a bastard, by the way.
That's why I started laughing.
Okay, wait. Oh, wait. We want to hear the story of why he's a bastard.
Oh, it's tied into the ghost story. So, we're walking around the prison, and one of the cells is called the dark cell. I wonder if you can guess why.
No light on?
It's literally a hole in a wall.
Oh.
Yeah, there's only one entrance. There's no windows, and that's where they stuck people who they really didn't like.
Yeah. And so it's the last place we are going. My dad sneaks there first, puts his phone in there, and has it playing music.
Not just music. I had it playing ghost sounds.
I know.
Why?
Because his mother and father weren't married. He was a bastard.
Okay. La Lorena. El Bruja.
But the ghost part of this was the fact that while I was in there and while me and my best friend were in there, both of us experienced things that should not have been possible. Because Will heard gunfire from outside, like in the prison outside. And then
Arizona. We never hear gunfire in Arizona.
Shut up. And I felt a hand run up my back.
Ooh.
And that was what made me run out of there, by the way. Because directly after that, I was like, nope, I'm not staying in there any longer.
It wasn't the sound from the corner or the corner of the room that was going
That in
with chain the sound of chains rattling.
No, it was the fact that I felt something run up my back.
You need to go hang out in Culver City, Nevada, okay?
Oh, and then my favorite thing was when you were doing the mugshot photos, both me and Will swear we saw Pearl Heart. Like, we will swear up and down that Pearl Heart was there.
And how much acid did you guys take?
None.
Well, maybe one of the things we could do is this Halloween, I'll take you down to the haunted hotel here in San Diego.
I want to go back. I really want to go to the Whaley House. You know, the most haunted house in America.
I have to know that the House of Haunted Hill is supposed to be the most hot.
How about we go to the one close
in
by
LA.
that's cheaper first?
Why don't you go to the Winchester House?
We've already established I can't afford to hire a clown.
Once a year.
Go to the Winchester House. Start digging in the ground for magnetites and get kicked off the property and never be allowed to return again.
Yeah.
I would love to go to the Winchester House, but
It sounds like you got a story there, Elihu.
No, I had a friend who used to be a tour guide. And
friends.
Yeah. And he was being a little suspicious because certain parts of the property, his phone would be haywire and his watch be messing up. So he decided to do a little digging by a tree, and he found some magnetite. His boss found out, grabbed it, fired him on the spot, and banned him from the property for life.
Since we were you mentioned creepypastas, I forgot about this because this is technically a creepypasta, but I have been very interested in the online phenomenon of the back rooms as of late.
Oh, that's bullshit.
The Kane Pixels, the Kane Pixels stuff. Yeah,
but it's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, it's very fun concept. It's basically cosmic internet horror, and it's about it centers on a place rather than a person or a creature. I kind of like that.
What I like about that aspect is that people were saying, this is bullshit, this happened during COVID. So what the guy supposedly, quote unquote, did, he went inside hospitals. He went inside a bank. I'm like, this is awesome. I love the concept, but it's bullshit. I'm like, it's pretty cool.
Well, it's called fiction, Elihu.
Yeah,
on a very basic level, all fiction is quote bullshit.
Yeah, but the idea behind it would make like a really good movie about people who literally just glitch into another world. Like
it was called the Langoliers. It was called the Langoliers.
Yeah, there's already a movie in works. Kane Pixels on YouTube is probably the most successful guy so far that has gotten attention from it. But there's also been video games. Now, the thing about the Backrooms is nobody owns it as a concept. You could have Martin Scorsese could come out with a Backrooms movie, or Quentin Tarantino could if he wanted to.
It's unowned, which is very similar to the SCP Foundation. Because the SCP Foundation is another thing. It's one of those things that it's bridging creepypasta. Because if you go online and search up SCP Foundation, it's just a bunch of stories. And it's really cool. I used to have an app for it on my phone because it was a group that protects the foundation of the world by keeping all of the anomalous entities in secret underground bunkers is the best way I can say it.
Yeah. I mean, there's military.
Sorry for interrupting, Darren. Go ahead.
All right, fine. There's military legends like that too about the it's called the zoo. It's around the Four Corners area in the Southwest where supposedly they've been genetically splicing humans with various animals, And
the island of Dr. Moreau, yes.
Yeah, basically that. Well, down on Dr. Moreau originally was just he used vivisection, but this is a little bit different. So, like for example, when we as a population found out about Dolly, the sheep that had been cloned, in the 90s, that was something that they allowed us to know about, and they were already like 20 years ahead of Dolly by the time we found out about Dolly. And so all these sightings about skinwalkers and things like that out in the Southwest apparently are
Skinwalker
related to
sightings been
that.
happening since the 1500s.
Right, I know. But the more recent ones, like Skinwalker Ranch and things like that. That's the idea.
Skinwalkers are like seen everywhere.
Well, I mean,
animal hybrids have existed as long as humans have been
Right.
telling stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the latest wrinkle.
Yeah, it's a modern twist on an old idea, and sometimes the modern twist on an old idea is what's best. I mean, just look at all the modern day vampire myths that have come up with just in the last century that have nothing to do essentially with the original vampire lore.
Right.
Modern day vampires to old vampires are so different because modern day vampires are like I'm hot but I'm evil,
Right.
and old vampires are it's the devil, don't go near it.
Yeah, they're monsters that need to be destroyed.
And what if they're Jewish? A cross doesn't work on them. So come on. What if they're Muslim? A cross doesn't work on them. A Muslim Jewish vampire. How are you going to defeat them? Hello?
Actually, the cross does still work on them because it has nothing to do with the faith of the vampire. It has to do with the faith of the user of the cross.
Oh god,
That's the modern vampire lore there.
Atheist versus vampire. Atheist really just grabs.
Yeah, that would be funny if you actually had an atheist vampire who wasn't affected by anything like that.
What kills a vampire? A wooden stake through a heart. Oh, how does it do it? You're driving a piece of wood through a heart. Of course it's gonna kill it.
Almost anything.
Decapitation.
You jam a wooden stake through anything's heart, it'll pretty much kill it. What else kills a vampire? You can try cutting off its head. Okay, what does it do when you cut off its head?
Well, the idea there is that the idea is that you're trying to prevent the vampire from coming back. So, for example, shooting it in the chest or the lung or something with an ordinary, piece of munitions is going to put it down, but eventually it'll come back up. The idea behind these other methods, like stake to the heart and beheading, is to keep them from coming back.
Yeah, in the early 1800s, there used to be ceremonies and parties where they had they would dig up the coffin and they would stake the heart and decapitate it so the person won't rise. And they would have a ceremony about that.
I'm just remembering the metal cages that were around old coffins.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I remember when people started in the early 1920s in New Orleans. They started make sure the bodies were in cement because they were afraid of zombies.
Yeah, tied down.
Yeah, when concrete was a big building, it's like, no, let's put cement on them. Let's hold them down. So there's about 3 cemeteries.
About
so
urban
90%
legends.
cemented.
Well, talking about this type of stuff like ghost stories, urban legends, and stuff, back in the day when people were so worried about being buried alive, one of the things they would actually do is basically put a little pulley or string or button or something that would ring a bell, just in case when they passed away, they would, they weren't, they were actually buried alive, so they'd ring the bell. And there were stories of gravekeepers walking through, and every night the bells would ring, indicating somebody was buried alive.
That's why it's called the graveyard shift. That's where the term "Saved by the Bell" comes from. If you didn't know that.
Well, that's the term graveyard shift too came about. Is for the people who worked the cemeteries there worked at night, so it got called the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
There was a pretty awesome Italian movie that came out years ago. It was I can't remember the Italian title, but when it came to the United States, they gave it the name Cemetery Man, and it was about a guy who worked at a cemetery whose job was to keep the bodies from escaping the cemetery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Again, my thought is a job like that would be really hard if you had a cemetery full of criminals. Because imagine you're going through your normal day, you look over, and all of a sudden there's like a 1920s gangster with a gun standing in front of you, really decomposed.
Where would he get the gun? They didn't bury people with guns.
I don't fucking know.
A criminal corpse is just as dangerous as a non-criminal animated corpse. I mean, it's
an animated corpse.
Yeah, but what
okay,
they
it's
died with
dangerous,
the gun
but what?
with their Darren, what if they died with the gun in their hand?
They're not buried with it though. That's the thing. They don't get buried with it. They don't even get buried with a full like suit on. It's just the front part of the suit.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know that, it's cut.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Darren, there are plenty of people in Texas that were buried with their guns.
Okay, but Texas isn't everywhere. I mean,
yeah, go to Maine, okay?
At least some people in California that somehow got buried with their guns.
just like people in Wisconsin don't get buried with their cows. I mean, it's just.
Oh God. Hey, Dad, what was that one lake that they keep finding bodies from? Bodies in Lake Mead.
Yes, Lake Mead is the one they're talking about because of the drought.
Yeah, they keep finding bodies. It's great.
Yeah.
Like old ass cases are getting solved. Hey, we were looking for that body. It's terrifying how many missing people end up dead in a lake.
That's because it's the easiest place to get rid of a body.
Yeah, cenotes are even better.
Okay, well, I'm going to take off, guys. I will see you later.
All right, later.
See you there.
Although I went to Cora and I asked, do people ever get buried with their weapons? The first thing that came up, when my grandfather was passed away, we buried him with his Singer sewing machine. Like, that's nothing to do with the question.
Yeah, but are the guns loaded when they're buried with them? That's the thing.
Google is a weird entity. We don't question it, okay?
Yay, peas. Of course, people are going to get buried with their lover. Jeez.
Actually, I can fight that. No, Bonnie and Clyde didn't get buried together. The literal criminal couple did not get buried together. They are in two separate cemeteries.
I said, of course, people are going to get buried with their lovers because of Yay Peas' comment.
But, sorry, it's this like... Sorry, it's something I'm still pissy about, that Bonnie and Clyde did not get buried together. Because they should have. It was literally Bonnie's last wish.
And that's why they didn't. They didn't want to honor a criminal's last wish.
No. So they were going to be buried together because of the Barrow family. There was a spot next to... So Clyde got buried with his brother, Buck. And then what was going to happen was Bonnie was going to be put in the plot next to Clyde. But Bonnie's mom did not want Bonnie to be buried with the man that she viewed as tainting her daughter.
So after all these years, nobody bothered to move the grave?
There's been a petition out for a few years to get Bonnie moved into the plot next to Clyde. There's been a petition about it.
Yeah, but who's going to pay for that?
I'm sure there's enough people that would crowdfund for that kind of thing.
It would actually be paid for by Bonnie's niece and Clyde's nephew. It is within their family.
So, Yay Peas, you said with, not next to or together. You just said with. So I'm like, hey, yeah, of course they're buried with their lovers. Oh, you're talking about Bonnie and Clyde, sorry. Yes, I know. It plays in a couple hours. We were talking about that earlier, right?
Elihu mentioned it. We talked about it. But as I said, I haven't seen any of that run, so I don't care.
Yeah, I'll most likely do a watch party or something because I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop open.
But
what does your watch party, LDG?
You know what I think would be really funny is with all this hype about it and so many people pissed that didn't like her performance tuning in just to watch her die. It turns out that they pull a David Tennant move where they start the regeneration and stop it, and she sticks around for another few years.
I don't want to go. No, they're supposed to introduce a new doctor today.
But like,
Well, if they do that, there's probably gonna be a lot of people pissed.
Chinball basically gave an interview. It's a spoiler-free interview. I haven't watched it yet, and it's supposed to mention the regeneration. So,
Did you send a message to your sister?
not yet.
she just woke up.
Sorry, Yvette. I kind of like it when these big companies troll. So I think it'd be funny as all hell if that's what they do.
Like,
I watch it go bankrupt because people stop watching their shit to say an FU to them.
I'm just going, God damn. I really just went on a whole rant about Bonnie and Clyde. I thought I was over this.
And yet it's still your avatar you chose.
Of course.
That's how I know it's you. I recognize the avatar.
Oh, have you seen what your sister's going to dress as Halloween for?
No.
She's going to go as Mike Wheeler from Stranger Things.
Cool.
She also got her tooth fixed finally.
Well, honestly, I don't know what I'm going as.
Oh, Yvette, by the way, Yvette, I get the BBC East Coast feed, so I get it 3 hours before everybody else on the West Coast. And they're showing a Doctor Who marathon right now, so I'm not sure which one it is.
See, my friend group, we like to do group costumes. And at first we were thinking, oh, let's like do D&D. Let's go with like D&D tropes. The meek wizard. The done with everybody's shit cleric.
Well, are you going to come down, walk around trick-or-treating with your younger siblings and stuff?
Be a chaperone?
Yeah.
Depends if I'm working or not.
Because if we do that again, or if we do it this year, I might actually dress up. Because I didn't end up dressing up last time. But Addie, Jacob, and Cameron, along with some of their friends, dressed up like people from The Purge last year.
My little trio did decades, but we did a creepy twist on it and did How You Died in a Decade.
Yvette, I think it drops at 1 o'clock Eastern time here in America.
You're really late to this conversation.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. I'm stoned and I'm doing several things at once right now. Sorry.
Yeah, but I figured with as much practice as you have, we're doing live streams while stoned. And yes, Mrs. Vile wants me to dress as Gabriel Iglesias for Halloween.
That is great.
Okay, so that means it drops in 45 minutes here. Okay, cool. Thanks, Yvette.
And the thing is about that costume, all I would have to change is I'd have to get his trademark like Newsies type hat. And
you have to get
my
a
turkey a little bit.
You have to get a newsboy cap. I will pay for you to wear that normally. Yes.
Duffy.
Hey, now we know how Vile there pays for the clown once a year.
We've already established I can't do that.
Well, you just Caddy here just said she pays you to wear a hat.
No, she said she would buy the hat. Thank you, Germ. He's saying I'm too big to be fluffy. He's lost too much weight. It's not my fault that motherfucker lost 70 pounds.
Yeah, it is.
And the funny thing is, according to his own thing, I only weigh about 20 pounds more than him.
But my group's still trying to figure out what we want to do. And even then, it's like if we have the day off and shit. Also, on the other hand, everyone in my group is working now.
Did even our favorite Jew bastard get a job?
Yeah, I kept yelling at him to go to McDonald's. He finally went to McDonald's. They hired him.
What about Will?
McDonald's.
Dog groomer.
What?
Dog groomer.
Oh, that's cool.
Why would anybody willingly work at McDonald's?
I willingly work at McDonald's.
Not to mention, both of her parents at one point worked at McDonald's.
McDonald's
My mom worked at McDonald's in high school, and I worked at McDonald's in college.
But yeah.
Oh wait, 5:00 p.m. my time. Never mind. Sorry, I'll get it earlier. It's not officially airs, but I'll get it earlier. Sorry.
The boyfriend now has a really good job.
What's he do?
What is he doing now?
Well, if
working at the home goods store or whatever.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like
if
fries
things
with
go
that?
well on this next interview, he is going to be a sales manager at a office.
Okay.
And he's going to be making a lot of money.
Define a lot of money.
The kind of money that I will willingly become a trophy wife.
Ah. Good answer.
This is things I've joked about with customers, which is even funnier. I now have legitimate customer stories.
All right, go ahead and tell us one of your legitimate customer stories.
I stopped a guy from getting hit while he was in the drive-thru line. A guy cut into the line because someone up front fucked up his order and he didn't want to wait through the line. And between the car at my window and the car moving to the second window, he cut in, and right as the guy was about to go, I quite literally went, "No, wait, don't!" And he looked back at me, and the guy swerved in.
Why did the guy just go inside the bitch? That's what I do whenever
Sweetheart
thing screws up my order.
Because the person was probably drunk.
No, I already closed at 7 p.m.
I think the story that I have about what happened at McDonald's on Friday is better than yours.
What?
I'll tell you more about it later because I already told the story at the beginning of the stream. But I almost stabbed a guy at McDonald's on Friday.
Okay. Easy. I got handed $2 and a tip and a Jesus.
Was it a Kevin Smith Funky Jesus?
So, like this was in a line because also the guy. So it was, one person handed me $11 after I told them it was $9.58. And went, no, just keep it. It's a tip. No, I went, okay, sure. And they drove off. They did not want their change. Did not care enough for me to give back the other dollar. Because the amount of times it's handed me more money than I need, and I've handed it back to them, going, "Oh, I only need this much." But they're just like, "Nope, keep it. I don't want it." I was like, okay, sure, that works.
Nice. Kind of like last week, I was walking to the ATM because I was $10 short because I didn't want to pay the extra $4 at the dispensary. I want to get $10 at the ATM. Halfway down the block to the ATM, it's a $10 bill. I'm like, score! Or I'm walking down Vegas and I see this pink little change person. I'm like, no, it can't be. There can't be money in there. This is Vegas. But it's standing straight upright. I pick it up. I feel a whole bunch of loose change in it. I open it up and there's 7 pounds and 2 half-pence in there. I'm like, score!
Hey, sweetheart. You see this thing?
Yeah.
It's not this exact one, but Justin showed me that one of the he used to work at the Denny's in Poway, and while again not this exact one, someone once left him a tip of 3 20s. They were all fake 20s that had Jesus on it, and instead of the United States of America, it had the United States of Christ. And it had like everything on there had to do with, that kind of stuff. He thought it was really fucked up because he was like, he sees 3 what he thinks is 20s on the table after a tip of, when they didn't leave a tip on the bill, and it was a group of like 20 people. So we thought that was going to be a great tip, but instead they left him basically 3 fake 20s.
Yeah, he got gypped the tip. Yeah, it's a corner that they fold, and it says, instead of a tip, we want to give you the tip of life. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I've seen those before. I got one of those as a waiter in New Orleans. My boss took out a $20 bill out of his wallet and go, here, I know what it's like. And, thank you, man. That is really fucked up tip as a waiter. You expect a really good tip. You got service. You got great people there. You think they're friendly, and you get a fake $20 bill. That is fucked up.
Yeah, when I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something along the lines of on the back it was clearly wasn't a 20, but it said something along the lines of, we lost somebody. We lost Jordan. But on the back it said something along the lines of, while money might be more helpful in the short term, in the long term, what's more important is your soul.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyone who doesn't tip at a fucking restaurant is gonna burn in hell.
I used to be a cook. I used to be a waiter. I know what it's like. Please tip your service waiter, your service person, provider.
Oh, hold on.
Wait. Everybody shut up.
Hello, world. It's Birdo Brave 5. Cuppa.
How you doing, Bird?
Cuppa, Bird.
You're going live in like 5 minutes, aren't you?
30 minutes?
Yeah,
35.
35 minutes.
Hello, Bird.
Listening. Hello. I was curious how much a trophy wife costs because I thought at one point I certainly would have made money, but I think because it's New York, it probably costs more here. But you know what? I don't even want to know. Inflation.
Hey, Bird is an engineer.
Inflation.
Okay, he's very smart, which means he makes a lot of money.
Well, at least I thought I did back in the day.
Well,
not anymore.
All right, I'm kind of stealing this joke from Gabriel Iglesias because Mrs. Vile and I just watched his latest special on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet.
But I'm gonna steal a joke. So if you want to mute yourself or not listen, whatever.
Okay, Carlos from Stila.
Basically, I would want a trophy wife too, but I can't afford one. So instead, I got a Mexican who's do a job that no one else wants.
Nah.
That's funny.
And this is where Mrs. Wild is going to come out, punch me, and then leave.
And Candy's all quiet. He's like, man, I don't see anything.
I didn't
can't
see
confess.
anything either.
Yeah, camera's off. I don't know what's going on.
No hablo español.
Me no speak Spanish.
The worst thing is I now vaguely understand Spanish.
I'm Puerto Rican, and I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Castilian. Well, I speak a little bit, but...
Sorry, I just remembered. Sorry,
How-
you saying that. I had a memory of something that happened at work. I was talking to one of the customers because the line wasn't moving, and I try to keep the line entertaining, so I'll talk to them if I'm doing something. And I had said his name, and I went, I know it probably sounded like I spoke Spanish when I said your name. I don't. I'm just really good at mimicking accents. And he goes, oh, no, dude, you're fine. My family is from Mexico, and I don't speak Spanish.
Wait, which of your family's from Mexico?
No, it's, I was talking about to one of my customers.
Oh, their family was from Mexico.
Yes.
I was going to go visit some distant cousins in Puerto Rico, but hurricane hit, the still building, and no hotels open right now.
So
Well,
if
why don't you just stay with LDG?
Yeah. He's close enough.
Eli, you stay
Pretty
with
much
me.
in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, if he goes to Florida to go to Disney World, why don't you just let him stay with you?
You have a pool house or something?
Sure.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Come stay with me. No problem. I gotcha.
You can sleep in the pool.
Thank you for that suggestion, whoever that was. I'll have to-
I actually looked online, and it's cheaper to fly to Hawaii than it is to go to Orlando.
You know, the
Yeah,
pool
no.
is like a shower and a bathroom in one.
Well, I don't know about bathroom, but
Elihu,
shower maybe.
if you're gonna go to Hawaii, let me know. I'll see if I can get my boss to send me out there. They were actually looking for people who are willing to fly out to Hawaii to do some work.
When?
Next month.
Yeah, that's when I plan on going.
No, maybe we could meet up in Hawaii. That'd be funny.
What island?
I have no idea. Wherever they need people to be covered.
One island is pretty much like the next.
Well, but it's a little bit different for scenery, but I want to be I plan on staying in Hilo.
Hilo. That's
Yeah.
on an island. That's a city on Kona.
It's
It's a city on Big Island.
Yeah, I plan on
Kona
staying
is the
there.
other city.
Yeah, I plan on staying on the northeast side of the island. The main,
Well, it's
island.
better than the Kona side. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, and it's cheaper too.
The LDG B&B is a little out of his price range.
LDGP and B. I like that.
Yeah, his breakfast consists of a sausage patty with mustard.
Come for breakfast, stay for Prometheus.
You know the best part about the LDG B&B? All the toilets come with their own camera.
Wow.
Well, the B&B is actually an OnlyFans all in one. So it's got its own OnlyFans channel. Yes, every room. It's kind of like Big Brother, but just extended. I like to think of it as an extended Big Brother. So yeah, bathrooms and all. Obviously everyone signs a document. They're more than willing, and print's kind of small, but I'm sure they read it.
So LDGBB actually stands for LDG Bunga and Bunga. Bunga Bunga.
I still think it's funny that I've been dead silent for most of this.
No, dude, if you're gonna go to Hawaii, let me know. So yeah, we can hook up, man.
Again, isn't this supposed to be about ghost stories?
Ghost stories.
Yeah, that's originally what it's supposed to be about, but we keep getting off topic.
Ghost
As you're new
stories,
here, Bert,
urban
you have
legends,
a ghost story you want to tell?
and creepypastas.
Yes.
Ghost stories, urban
like a
legends,
scary
and
looking
creepypastas,
pasta.
also the Mexican-American War.
Like
got a
scary
scary story.
mixed with a rigatoni or something.
No,
Flying spaghetti monster.
those are creepy internet stories.
I have a freaky internet story. One time,
Since
Berg
when?
says he likes. One time, Berg says he likes to suck hard things.
Well,
Who
Bert,
doesn't?
the creepypasta.
You know it's very
online
hard
about
to get.
1999, so I'd say
Wrong
it's
one.
only been about 25 years, almost 25 years.
Well,
Hey,
we
guys.
got a lot
Hey,
of with Bird clip from Bird.
Tell
Hey,
you about
guys.
some of my favorites.
Chris Knight just posted who's up for some games today on his weekly wrap up. So that means his weekly wrap up is on today.
We got a lot. We got Twilight Zone. We got the Doctor dying. We got Chris Knight playing some games.
Got Psycho
A
4.
lot to do today. Psycho 4. Oh, that's right. Psycho 4. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, that's at 6 o'clock tonight because
Ooh.
because
Listen.
yeah. So do you want me to swing into the backstage before I start it?
Sure. Unless I'm streaming, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you could probably link.
I'm
to your
streaming. You
stream,
know where to
don't
find
you?
me there. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send everybody over there. I've already we watched 1, 2, and 3, so I got
Yeah,
one
the
more
next
left.
week's the Loon Lake one. You don't want to miss that one. 'Cause I got a lot to say on that one.
Well, speaking of the whole ghost stories, urban legends, and creepypastas, what are you watching on the Twilight Zone stream today, Bird?
Oh, actually, we have a ghost story on Twilight Zone today. It's episodes 5 and 6. The first one is called If She Dies, and it's the ghost of a little girl convinces some guy who's in a coma to buy a bed from an orphanage, not in Kuroga.
Are you going to be playing the episode where everybody has to wear a mask?
That we already watched. That was the
Oh.
original Twilight Zone.
Oh, that was a good
We're
episode.
up to Twilight Zone 1985 now.
Oh, okay. Where the CBS decided to fuzz the lady standing up. Gotcha. I remember that series.
Yeah. And then it also, the last episode of today, a message from Charity, where is a teenager played by Robert Duncan McNeil, aka Tom Paris, with a fever, finds himself in telepathic contact with a girl named Charity living in colonial New England.
You have another fucking
So,
text message.
wow, somebody's got a text message.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Who?
Yeah, here, you guys want to hear something funny
Very
though?
classy.
Thank you. Hey, Bert, have you tagged Robert on Twitter about that? He may pop in or say hi because he's friendly to fans like that.
No, I have not.
I would suggest that because he is friendly to fans.
Thank you.
No problem.
I didn't even mention it on Twitter.
Yeah,
The
I
episode
would.
at all.
So,
Yeah. So my kid here, I made him try some summer sausage there. He said he didn't want to try it because he didn't know if he'd like that. I told him that either he tries a piece or the internet might magically disappear. So he tried a piece. I just went in there to get another piece, and the whole damn thing's gone. He ate the whole thing.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Mike, I can't believe you missed that answer on Jeopardy, Nerdy. Come on.
A similar story to that, Jordan. When I moved into my first solo apartment after Caddy was born, friends and family to help me move, and I, of course, got them pizza and beer to pay them, but they left a lot of the pizza behind. And as I'm getting stuff set up in the living room, and after setting up Caddy's room, she was like 4 years old at the time, and every once in a while, as I'm setting stuff up in the living room, I'd watch her go from her room to the kitchen, grab a slice of pizza, and come back, or I'd go back into her room. And I didn't really keep track of how many times I saw her do this until I was finally hungry enough to go get a slice of pizza for myself. And she had eaten an entire pizza by herself at age 4.
Except the crust.
Except for the crusts. She returned the crusts to the box.
Well, at least
But
she was nice enough to leave you something.
But Dad, there's a whole other part of that story that you forgot. I asked if I could have a pizza to myself.
Well, I didn't think you were going to eat the whole damn cheese pizza. There's one cheese pizza. Everything else was pepperoni, sausage, meat lovers, whatever. But there was one cheese pizza that I got specifically for her because she didn't like anything on her. Still doesn't really. But I'm like, she ate the whole damn thing. I'm not talking about like a personal pan-sized pizza. I'm talking about a large 18-inch pizza.
Maybe you should feed her more and she won't eat a whole damn pizza.
Well, now I can't get her to eat any pizza. I bought pizza for her friends last Wednesday when we played D&D, and they only ate like a pizza and a half between the 4 of them.
I didn't touch it. I ate an apple Danish and Reese's. Fuck, I left my Reese's at Will's house. Shit.
Oh, and I will be posting the first episode. I got it complete. I just wanted to get a few more of them in the bag before I posted the first episode of our D&D sessions.
Well.
But I didn't realize until afterwards I have to re-render episode 3 because apparently for some reason I screwed up and there's like a 30-minute section in the front where it's just nothing. And I don't know how that happened. But all right, I think I'll go ahead and end the stream. You guys want to plug anything before we go?
There's Psycho 3 or 4 tonight at 6 p.m. And then next Sunday is Loon Lake. That should be at 7. Otherwise, I just got Stranger Things and Babylon 5 watch parties.
Well, if you got the links, go ahead and put them in the chat, Jordan.
Oh, I don't have them available right at the second. There, I could put my. Oh.
Bird, do you want to plug anything? Like your Twilight Zone or anything else you're doing soon?
Yeah, I'm posting it now. Thank you. Live in 20 minutes.
You tag Robert?
Twilight Zone 1985. And yes,
cool.
I tagged Robert.
Cool.
Caddy, do you want to plug anything like your TikTok or your sister's TikTok?
Go follow Snovia_love on TikTok and whatever Vile Style is. I don't fully remember right now. I know
it's Snow Cone Cam.
Oh, she stole my shtick. Cool.
I won't be plugging Addie's because she doesn't want her. She doesn't like anyone watching her videos for some reason.
I need to post more.
She doesn't want her father's crazy friends watching her videos.
For like 10 seconds.
Well, my middle daughter is more. She posts stuff more for just her friends to see.
How awkward. Oh,
she
I mean
even
normal.
blocked me and her mom from seeing her own videos for a while.
I wasn't.
Backstage at LDG because I don't see anything, Captain.
What's backstage?
Captain is apparently backstage at your backstage.
Okay, I'll let you in. I
Yeah, I'll
believe
be
she's
over there
cooking
in a
dinner
little
right
bit.
now.
I'll be
All
there
right.
in a
Well, I
little
am
bit
live
for,
streaming too, so
Twilight.
if you want to pop over there, that's fine. If not, underground, and yes, absolutely. I can't wait to watch Twilight Zone and the Doctor die a horrible death.
Well, me and as I said, Mrs. Vile and I are going to try to watch Black Adam today. Maybe we'll do a little short review of it afterwards, but it would just be from the car on the phone. So, all right. Anything else, guys, or should I just say
Thank
the
you,
end
Bob.
thing?
Always fun, buddy. No, you're good, man.
All right, then.
And when's your next Chep Nerdy, by the way? But I was wondering
We're
about
going to
that.
do that next Sunday on. Is it next Sunday? Yeah, next Sunday on the longer live stream.
On October 30th, the day before Halloween.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then did you get the new computer and everything's good?
No, I don't. I still don't have the new computer yet.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
raise enough money yet.
I thought you couldn't do it without the computer.
I can do it on this computer. I just didn't.
Oh, okay.
I can't do certain things on this one, like the little 30-minute D&D episodes I'm trying to render.
Mhm.
Last one took me 6 hours to render 30 minutes.
Damn.
That's one of the reasons I need a new computer.
You try to be fragging it?
Plus, I want to try to do some live streaming some games and stuff like that.
I mean, Dad, if you ever have the ability, and if you do one of the other, those really long live streams again, if you do it on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you can probably get me and some of my friends in there.
Well, I'm going to be doing this next Sunday. So if you want to be there for that, at least partially, that'd be great.
I work Sundays.
Not all day, though.
Today is Sunday. You're online right now.
When do you start work today?
1:30.
See, you can join. It's in the morning.
Yeah. If I start at 8 o'clock and I end at 8 o'clock, that's still 12 hours. At some point, you can show up. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it, and I'll just end it with later, folkses.
Later, weirdos.
See ya, everybody.
Later.
Bye-bye.